interesting. This is obviously a year that takes us back to like that amazing moment that John Cena returned at the Royal Rumble. Of course, you got Ric Flair build into his retirement at WrestleMania. And it's a special time for me because I remember being in Florida during that WrestleMania. It's a time that I remember, I don't know, there being and feeling like there was a bit of a change happening in WWE. And of course, that change would be a change that I think people look at now as a negative change. That change being that we move to a PG product. So this is the year WWE goes PG. And I think actually this is the first PLE where we go PG. And we actually move away from ruthless aggression. So, yeah, this period here is an interesting period of like transition. And we know this is 2008. By 2010, ECW as a brand would be done. And we would be getting the arrival of NXT. And so, you know, we're starting to now get closer to the product that we see and we recognize. You kind of go back before this, and obviously it wasn't a PG product and NXT wasn't around. The developmental system was different. But, you know, this is really the start of us kind of moving even closer to what you would recognize today. So that people know what it is that we're actually going to be watching. SummerSlam 2008. It's on WWE Vault. So if you want to watch along, it'll be 55 minutes. It will begin on WWE Vault, and we'll be following the action. Obviously, before then, we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Actually, haven't seen a great deal of news today, so I'm not sure what I can contribute, but we can certainly do our best. In regards to the match card, then, we've got MVP against Jeff Hardy. We have got, this Kofi and Mickie James against Glamorella. And what's really interesting is I actually think about this match a lot. This match lives a little bit rent-free in my head because this was a mixed tag match. So you had a guy and a girl on each side. And whichever team won, they would get the Intercontinental Championship and they would get the WWE Women's Championship. So Mickie James was the women's champion. Kofi Kingston was the Intercontinental champion. And these belts were being defended, both of them, in this match. So these were two singles titles being defended in a tag match. And there are times where we actually do watch-alongs. And I talk about, like, I just don't get why you put singles people in tag matches. Because, like, nothing's achieved. There is literally a spider right here that is currently descending. I don't know if you can see that, but he is currently coming down from, like, that was Spider-Man type. This is Spider-Man type stuff. Oh my God, that was very impressive, young man. I'm letting him live. You get to live for that. Although I don't know where you've disappeared to. Where have you gone? I don't know if it picked it up on camera or not, but he literally just descended down as I was talking. Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, that lives rent-free in my head because I always talk about, why do we put like single stars in tag matches? Why do we do that? And then I think about this match and I think about how titles were actually defended, singles titles defended in a tag match. Then we got Matt Hardy against Mark Henry. This was for the ECW Championship. JBL taking on CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Great Khali against Triple H, dream match for the WWE Championship. And we got Batista against John Cena. And that, I think, was quite a special match because I don't think they'd actually faced each other. So I think that was like a pretty big deal, them going up against each other. And then our main event, an absolutely classic match, a match that still gets remembered and spoken about, and certainly certain iconic moments from it, right? It is Hell in a Cell. Edge versus Undertaker. So, yes, SummerSlam 2008. We've got that coming up. And even the poster Even the poster is one that I think is a little iconic. I was surprised. There it is. I was surprised they didn't use that as the thumbnail. So there you go. Look, you can see Maria. And I was quite surprised they didn't go with that, because that was the DVD cover. That was the poster. Was Maria on like this? I don't even know what that's called. Is that I don't even know what that is. An water bike. She's on one of those. A water quad. And with like explosions in the background and everything. But they didn't use that for the thumbnail. They used some image I think they made themselves of like Undertaker and whatever, which I then stole and used for my thumbnail. So fun fact. So yeah, this is featuring Raw SmackDown ECW, August 17th, 2008. Look, we can see the attendance is 16,000-ish. We can see the buy rate is 477,000. We can see the tagline was the biggest blockbuster of the summer. So there we go, SummerSlam 2008. And yeah, looking forward to this. As I said, not one I think we've done before. Hannah said it seems like in 2008, it seems like 2000 days, it seems you like 2008 streams. Well, I'm looking forward to this show, yeah. But what was you up to this year? I was at work. I started working retail kind of 2003. 2003, 15 years, 2018 is when I started doing this full time. So yeah, 2008, I was just working. I don't know why though, that year I don't know why I feel like I've got a good, I think it might have been because I went to America. I went to America in like the March, April time. It was about a week or so before WrestleMania. And I've told this story before. It's the only time I have ever been where a WrestleMania was or was going to be held. And I got to experience seeing the posters and all the stuff up for it. You know, the banners going down the street. I remember jumping onto this bus and it had like all the graphics in there for WrestleMania. And this was WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, and it was so exciting for me to actually just taste what it must be like to go to a WrestleMania. It's the closest I've ever been to a WrestleMania, is like being there the week before it. But yeah, I don't know why I've got a real affection for this year. I think there were some big moments this year. I mean, when you talk about iconic Royal Rumble moments, like John Cena returning from injury early is like, it's one that like always gets mentioned. Actually, when you talk about like iconic returns, it gets mentioned for that as well. So I kind of see that popping up in iconic return compilation videos, but also like iconic Royal Rumble moment videos. And then, as I said, like you look at the main event in this one with Undertaker and Edge, and that Hell in a Cell match, which was very well received and had some really great moments in the match that we'll be watching. I just think there's quite a bit about this year, actually. Ric Flair's retirement, of course, is obviously a massive one from WrestleMania 24. And yeah, I don't know, there's just a bit about this year that I think makes this a pretty fun year, a year that, and you know, Shawn Michaels is doing some great stuff this year. He's in his feud with Jericho, and that was an amazing feud, which I really enjoyed. And there was just a lot of good stuff going on this year. So yeah, always happy to pop back to 2008. Right. Can we all agree that Roman has cooked Braun on the microphone last week, says Brony? Yes, I think it was... I mean, it's obviously very early doors for Braun Breaker, isn't it? So Braun is someone that is still kind of learning, and just even getting those opportunities are still quite rare for Braun. So yes, I don't think Braun would have expected to have cooked. To be honest with you, Braun live with a microphone hasn't really cooked anyone. I don't know whenever I've watched Braun Breaker with a live mic and gone, oh my God, he just murdered him. It's not really what Braun's known for, is it? It's an area that he's going to have to work on. So, you know, I'm sure creative can kind of give him some good material. But Braun Breaker's really like no nonsense. just very athletic, comes to the ring, spears you into the Shadow Realms type character. So, yeah, he is someone that has got a lot of learning to do. But, yeah, I would agree that I thought Roman came across a lot better in that promo exchange. Days you was working in 2008, you must have been a hard worker because you was only 4 years old at the time. Yeah, Brony, I started young, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of, I mean, I don't want to get political, but I do think a lot of kids in this day and age just don't know what it's like to actually put a shift in. And, you know, I was put to work very young. It was actually, I think, about 2 that I started work. So, you know, I'd been doing it a while by then, but... So, you know, listen, kids today, what can you say? They just make me look even better, yeah, because I was out there. My first word was shift. That was my first word. They were like, shift? You want to do a shift? You want to work a shift? I was like, shift. And that was it, you know, off we went. Nita Nitro said Drew stuck in the UK is rough. Hope that WWE can pull something off for him. I don't really understand what's happening with that, you know. I've just seen the video for it, and I honestly don't know what the situation is, because he was apparently about to board the flight. I'm just trying to remember exactly what he said. He said he was at the airport. He was trying to board the flight, and they said, no, you haven't got your American passport. Why does he need his American passport? I don't really get how that works. As long as he's got a passport, can't that get him in the country and then he just sort it out when he's there? You know? I mean, I'm sure his American passport's probably in America if he doesn't have it. So can't he just use his British passport to get in the country and go home and then get his American one? I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, some situation has meant he can't get back in. And he was trying to blame Jelly Roll for it, which was pretty wild. But, you know, I suppose why not? I don't know that he's too worried at this point. I mean, he's got a week, hasn't he? He's got a week. He might be a bit worried about making it for Raw or something like that. But I think there's still time for him to, obviously, you know, there's got to be a plan. I'm sure there's a plan. So we'll have to see what happens, but it'll be pretty hilarious if he's not. Be pretty hilarious if they don't let him back in. Oh my God, could you imagine if that Jelly Roll match gets cancelled? Oh no, damn, that would be a shame. That would be a shame. I mean, to be honest, I think it would still go anyway. They'd just find a replacement, wouldn't they? They'd just find a Drew McIntyre replacement. They'd probably get Bad Bunny, you know? They'd probably get Bad Bunny and we'll just make it worse. So, yeah, I don't think we're getting out of it, unfortunately. But, yeah, hey-ho. So Serial Killer said the admins should be posting the time and where to view, but... the admin should be posting the time and where to view. It starts in 43 minutes, and it is over on WWE Vault. I tell you what, I've never seen a company as good as TKO at building up to 2-day PLEs. Isn't everyone pumped? Said Aubrey. I think that might be a bit of sarcasm. I think the build for this one has been a little flat. I think part of it is that there's been a lot of shows, and honestly, I mean, I really feel like they need a bit of a SummerSlam season. I think I mentioned this in my predictions video. Like, I really like the fact they've gone 2 days on SummerSlam, and I think that WrestleMania feels huge. This SummerSlam feels huge because it's at MetLife Stadium, which is big. It's 2 days, which is big. And it feels like a big deal to me. I mean, we're getting the exact same main event as we got at WrestleMania. So, feels big. But, yeah, the build has been very rushed because of the amount of shows. It would be better if there was a WrestleMania season. I don't know. Could they not kick off WrestleMania season with, like, King and Queen of the Ring? Because obviously we do that, don't we? King and Queen of the Ring. and the winners get a title shot. It's a little bit like the Royal Rumble. The winner of the Rumble gets to get a title shot at WrestleMania. Well, the winners of King and Queen of the Ring get a title shot at SummerSlam. So you could sort of make it out like we're in SummerSlam season. But, yeah, we just don't really talk about it. We don't really talk about it. And then, boom, SummerSlam. Here it is. And we've only had about 3 weeks to kind of build to it. So, but, I mean, look, I think the card looks pretty good. I'm really excited for the Sunday. SummerSlam 2025, of course, we are talking about. So, yeah, I'm really excited for the Sunday. Saturday looks okay. It looks okay. I think the card overall looks okay. Definitely things I would change, and I'm sure there's things you would change as well. You know, I'm sure there's matches you'd just tweak, or there's someone missing. You know, I've seen lists doing the rounds of like, this person isn't on, that person isn't on, this person isn't on, that person isn't on. It's fair enough, to be honest. There's a lot of big names that are missing, but you can't really like just ram people in, you know. I mean, I don't want the singles matches to become triple threats, you know, or things like that. And we've already got like a fair few tag matches, and we've already got like that crazy 6-team TLC match, you know. So I kind of feel like we've got a lot of people that are being represented, but there's a lot of people that are missing out as well. Nita Nitro said all the tags night 1, all the stips night 2. It's a bit of a weird mix. Porky Pig said the match order is uneven between the nights. It's a solid cards. WWE is pretty average at the minute, said Dort Knight, but I'm still pumped with hope. Yeah, it's the hope that kills you, innit? It's the hope that kills you. Suzanne said, I like this SummerSlam tonight. Yeah, should be fun. It's stacked with star power. I mean, so many big names and big matches, and it's good. And the match quality is good. I mean, certainly the top end matches I remember being good. So yeah, it shouldn't be one of those where we're sat here and we're like, oh, this, I thought it was better than this. I think this is, I haven't seen this in so long. As I said, I think this is the first time that we've actually done a watch along for it on the channel, which, if that is true, means I ain't watched this since, well, I ain't watched this since easily 10 years. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one to kind of revisit. I wonder what War Games match they'll do this year. If Seth really is out, it's going to be interesting to see who teams with Braun and Bronson, assuming that Seth's faction is the one team at War Games. Yeah, you would probably think their faction would be, because obviously that team is going to be kept together. And there's what? 3 of them, and I wouldn't be shocked if by the time we get to Survivor Series there isn't 4. So I mean, you're pretty much there, aren't you? So yeah, I agree. I think that I wonder who they will pick a fight with. I mean, Judgment Day, obviously you can always do something with those guys, but we don't know where Judgment Day are going to be by Survivor Series. And I wonder if there might be like a Team Cody or something like that, or a Team Cena, and, you know, you might get something along those lines. But Cena is obviously there. We know he's going to wrestle, but, I mean, there's every chance that's a singles match. There's every chance that's for the championship. But if not, he could be, I don't know. I mean, does he fancy a War Games match? Does he fancy doing that? I don't know. Could have Team Cena against Team, you know, whoever. Cody probably, but it could be Team someone else. So yeah, there's it'll be interesting. But you know me, I'm not a massive War Games fan personally. I don't mind War Games. I wish it was a little more edgy. I wish it had a roof on it. I wish it had more bloods. I wish it was a night where we really kind of go a little extreme. That's kind of what I would like from War Games, because in my mind, that's what War Games was. It was war, and it was people getting busted open. And actually, you sort of see what I believe War Games should be living on AEW with their blood and guts. their Blood and Guts match is a lot closer to what I expect a War Games match to be. And I've enjoyed some of their Blood and Guts matches, actually. I think they've been really good, but it's a different product and a different time. We know that WWE don't want to go that far. But then saying that, they deliver a fantastic Hell in a Cell with Drew and CM Punk last year. That was a fantastic match. And that really did go far, and there was blood in that as well. And I don't know, I kind of look at stuff like that and I'm like, oh, can't you just do something like that for War Games? But, well, we'll see. We know what we're going to get. It's going to be what it normally is, which is, you know, a PG version of War Games. Someone will jump off the top of the cage. There'll be tables and kendo sticks and, you know, whatever. And, you know, it'll be what it'll be. But, yeah, we've spoke quite a bit about Survivor Series, maybe getting something else, some other kind of match stipulation or some other kind of setup. A few people that would like to see the return of the classic Survivor Series matches, and honestly, I'm open. I'm really open to trying whatever, because I know that I don't hate the War Games that they do. I'm ready for it to be like changed and kind of look at something else now. But yeah, we're not going to. It's going to be War Games again. We know that. So, but it should be a bigger feel, because I think it's at a pretty big stadium this year. So it should be a bit bigger in its kind of scope. So that'll be good. Hannah said, surely you was mastering the art of Panani back in the university days. Can we get a breakdown of tonight's card? I did it, but I've already done it. I did it at the start. Edward said, Days, how are you? Have you seen that Drew's match could be in trouble as he's stuck in the UK and he's been denied a boarding pass, so he's still in the UK, which isn't good in reality? We touched on it, but we spoke about it. I was saying I don't understand why he can't get his British passport to allow him into America, and then when he's in America, he's got his American passport. I mean, from what he said in that little clip, it seems like they won't let him board without his American passport. I wonder if it's because if you use your British passport, you're obviously going in as a tourist, right? And so, you know, you then need to, once you're in the country, try and change. Perhaps you just can't. Perhaps it's like illegal for you to say on your visa when you're traveling in, I'm coming in as a tourist, and then change it whilst you're there. I mean, obviously change it through the right channels, right? I'm not just saying just stay, but, you know, go to the whatever offices you have to go to kind of speak to someone and say, listen, I've traveled in on my British one, but I'm actually got an American passport, so I would like to change my status. Can you do something on the computer? Can you like change over my status or whatever? You do what you have to do. Perhaps you just can't do that. But then if you can't do that, well, I don't know. I mean, perhaps he'll have to get his wife to fly back with his American passport. He could do that, couldn't he? It's going to cost money, but I mean, he's not hurting for money. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I think he said his wife had gone back because their pet was ill, their cat was ill. So his wife has gone back. Can she not come back with his passport and then they go back together? I'm sure they've considered this. I don't think the match is in trouble. Unless there's something wrong with the American passport, but I don't know. I'm trying to judge off literally a 2-minute clip that he's posted on social media. Getting banned isn't that big of a deal. I've got multiple accounts, says Nightmare Fatu. I think I've walked into a conversation there. I'm waiting for TKO to do a bull riding WWE crossover where superstars have to survive the longest time on a bull whilst the bull riders fight it out in the ring. It is weird that they've put that on the WWE YouTube channel, bull riding, but you can sort of understand they're trying to boost its profile, and here we are talking about it, so I suppose in a way it has worked. The views aren't that crazy, though, of course, but yeah, there's been a few people that have checked it out and said, oh, it's pretty fun, actually. A few people in our community have said that. Rent Free said, Days, what do you consider the Mount Rushmore of WWE, and is Hogan in it? That's a great question, Rent Free. The Mount Rushmore of WWE, and is Hogan on it? We've touched on this a couple of times, and I think that for me, Hogan is on it, yes. I think that, we've spoken about how important WrestleMania 1 was to WWE. And, I think for me, Vince saying to the talent, if this doesn't work, we are done, right? I mean, it really was all eggs in the basket. I mean, Vince had, the way that Vince had bought WWE, because a lot of people think he was given it and he wasn't. But what happened was he actually went to his dad, who was selling the company, and he was like, I would like to buy it. And he didn't have the money. I mean, he didn't come from money, Vince. He actually grew up poor. So Vince didn't have money. But the way that he said that he wanted to buy the company is that he was going to pay them in installments using the profits from the company. So as the company made money, he would take those profits and he would give it to his dad, right? And he would pay for the company that way. And I think his dad said, like, if you miss an installment, then, the deal is off. So Vince had to make sure he was paying certain amounts on a regular basis. And if he missed any of those payments, the deal was off the table. So, and he would have lost that money, right? So, I mean, a lot of people think his dad just gave him the company and that he was, born into it and all of this. And it's like, there is a degree of truth to that, in that, he obviously had the ability to go up to his dad and say, I would like to take the company and will you do me this deal? I don't know that his dad would have done that for just anyone. So there is a degree of truth to the fact that he's lucky being born a McMahon and having the McMahon name. But there was a lot more to it. It was a bit more complicated than what some people say. And the reason why we're saying this is because I think it's worth knowing how tight financially things were when Vince first took over, and that there wasn't just money being chucked around, and he had to bring in these superstars because he knew that he needed the attractions to get the viewers. So he was bringing in all these names from the other territories. He was doing that and paying them good wages, which is why they wanted to come. But also then he's having to pay his dad as well to actually buy the company. And as we said, I know he had a few loans and whatever, but like he's really spinning some plates at this time. And we get to WrestleMania 1 in 1985, and it's all led up to this. It's all led to this. This is where all roads were leading to. And he needed that show to sell, that he needed the tickets to shift and the pay-per-view, I don't think it was pay-per-view. I think it was closed circuit. Like it was shown in like theaters and all this stuff. So it was a little different, but he needed it to sell. He needed it to work. And listen, they literally put that company on the back of Hulkamania. Simple as that. They ride that Hulkamania wave. And it worked. It landed, and it allowed them to then move forward. They go much bigger in their scope the following year, with WrestleMania 2 being in 3 different cities. And, he tries to go bigger. That didn't work as well. And so he tries to go bigger a different way at WrestleMania 3 with a massive stadium, Hogan, Andre, that did work. So, he was trying stuff around the early WrestleManias. And he needed that to land. And throughout this whole process, it's Hulkamania that is the fuel that keeps WWE moving forward and keeps it rising and keeps it going. And I just don't see how. I think the only way you don't put him on is if the personal stuff is just too much for you and you just can't. You just can't include him on those grounds. That would be the only way I could see him not making it onto a Mount Rushmore. I mean, Dave Meltzer said that he probably drew more money than anyone else in the history of wrestling in regards to Like, it's hard because Stone Cold is often credited as making the most money because of merchandising. And obviously the 80s is a different time. I think if you adjust for inflation and if you look over Hogan's career, I think it's Hogan. But for that like short period of time, like it's definitely Stone Cold. So I think you've got to have Stone Cold on a Mount Rushmore. I don't see how you leave off Hulk Hogan unless it's the personal stuff, right? So I think he has to go on. Then it starts to become tricky because honestly, I think those two are pretty guaranteed. Then I think you can go Rock because Rock, you know, is one of the most recognizable men in the world right now. A lot, whenever he does interviews, people will often talk to him about WWE. But not only that, he was massive, you know, in the Attitude Era. And, you know, his matches with Stone Cold, that match with Hogan at 18, you know, absolutely huge. But then coming back years later and those matches with John Cena at WrestleMania that break records. I mean, that WrestleMania 28 is the highest grossing, or was the highest grossing WrestleMania for a long time. And like, you know, the pay-per-view buys, I mean, that was it. That was pinnacle. That was peak. That was the most we had ever done. I mean, that just shattered records. Absolutely huge. So, you know, it was so big they had, you know, it was once in a lifetime. And then they did it again the next year because 28 was so big. You just couldn't not go again, right? So they did it again. And so I think if you look at his impact on the business overall, you look at kind of where he sits now on the TKO board, it's hard to kind of not include The Rock. I mean, you feel the aura when he walks out, don't you? I mean, he's just a different level. He's just a different level. So, I mean, you've got The Rock, who I don't want to chisel on yet. I'm just saying it's hard to leave him off. You've got Undertaker, who I think is the greatest gimmick in WWE history, the streak, and the amount of money that he generated that we'll never know about, because he wasn't always at the top of the card. But I'll tell you for a fact, I went to house shows to see Undertaker and hope he would be there. It was the main reason why I wanted to go, and I didn't even know if he was on or not. As a kid, my mum said I would just be in the car going, "Do you think Undertaker will be there? Do you think Undertaker will be there?" He was like my favorite as a kid. Loved Undertaker, and, you know, probably my favorite wrestler as well. Actually, not only did he have the best gimmick, but he was one of the best strikers. He was one of the most realistic in the ring in regards to his wrestling, with his selling, and like the work that he did in there, you know. Think about his amazing matches with Shawn, and, you know, that amazing story with Kane. And then, you know, go back to the 90s when people were like freaked out not knowing who he was, or even some people what he was. I mean, there were people out there that didn't know if he was actually dead. Apparently, he said there's people that would go up to him and go, "Are you dead?" So Undertaker's got to be in the conversation. I think one that I would probably chisel would be John. I think John goes on. I think John goes on because he's got the longevity. You know, he wrestled for a long time. It wasn't a short period of time. He wrestled a long time. Main evented all over the world, house shows. He was given the ball. He was the guy. He's now got 17 world titles. I think for me, John goes on. So I think where I'm settling is I think I'm settling with Hogan, Stone Cold, Cena, Taker is, I think, where I'm settling. But you could make an argument for Roman. I think Roman is definitely a name that needs to be considered for the impact he's had during this period. I think Roman needs to be considered. And I think The Rock, of course, needs to be considered. I would love to say Bruno. Of course I would. But unfortunately, when Bruno was on top, we're talking about WWE being a regional territory, not an international brand. It was the Northeast. It was the New York market. It was Madison Square Garden. It was a massive, massive promotion. but it was not what it is now. And I think the impact, Hogan makes it what it is now. Stone Cold capitalizes on what it is now. Cena continues what it is, right? And actually brings us to the modern day. And then, you could really make the argument that Roman is that next guy. I mean, I think you could quite comfortably go Hogan, Stone Cold, Cena, Roman. And I wouldn't have an argument with that. I would have no problems with that, because I think Roman is someone that has been around a long time. He's main evented so many WrestleManias, but the whole Bloodline story is probably the best story we've seen. He's got his major championship run as well, the run he'll be remembered for, the 4-year run. He's done it. And he did it in this time period. 4 years as champion in this time period is mental. That is mental. To deliver a championship reign on the main roster for that amount of time is mental. That has to be recognised. But I don't know, does it feel right to put Roman on ahead of The Rock, for example? If you was to ask someone who's the bigger star, I think people would say The Rock. Part of that, though, is his Hollywood movie work. So is it right to, again, if you just look at what Roman did and what The Rock did from a wrestling point of view, I think you could make a good argument that Roman was bigger. I think you could make a good argument for that. But actually, if you add in just the general star power in the movies and, I think The Rock's the most followed man in America, this is where it gets complicated. And then again, Undertaker, how do you leave Undertaker off? We're talking about one of the absolute greats. So yeah, for me, it's hard. I think I'm definitely leaning though. Stone Cold, Hogan, Cena, I feel are pretty much cemented, and then I think I'm gonna add in probably for me personally the Undertaker, and that I'll go with that. I think it's very, very close. But if I think about how many decades The Undertaker competed for, how much joy he brought me, and how much merch he was on, and what he represented. People love Bray Wyatt, but, Undertaker was that dark persona before Bray Wyatt and before the Wyatt Six and all of that. And, Undertaker is the greatest gimmick WWE ever had. It's hard to know how much merch he shifted, but it's going to be an incredible amount, an absolutely incredible amount. So I think I would go Undertaker, but I don't feel great leaving The Rock off. I don't feel great leaving Roman Reigns off. Some people would say Bret Hart because of how great he is in the ring, but I just don't think he had that run on top. And, he did get the ball, but he wasn't a very good drawing champion. When he is champion, it's not a good time, For me, Bret Hart represents new generation, and that's just not a great time, for WWE. I feel like when Hogan's on top, business is booming. When Stone Cold's on top, business is booming. When Cena's on top, business is booming. Business does well in the kind of 2000s, 2010s. But when Bret's on top, it's kind of like new generation where we're not in a very good place. I think if you're doing a Mount Rushmore based on just technical in-ring skills, then of course you would have Bret, and you'd have Kurt Angle, and you'd have maybe Shawn Michaels, and you'd maybe, construct it that way. But I think in regards to just impact and kind of drawing power, I kind of feel like the conversation we just had is probably in the right ballpark. So that's somewhat along those lines. But it's a hard one. It's one that's popped up before. It's a difficult one because there's just so many names that you find yourself leaving out that just you don't feel great about, But that's the game, innit? That's the game. Days, if Cena loses to Cody on Sunday, what do we think could be next? My mates think it'll be the IC title. For me, he doesn't need that. But if it does go that way, then fine. Whatever. But I want change. You want a change? I don't know that he'd go after the IC title, because I agree he doesn't need it. I don't think we ever talk about Grand Slam champs. It's just not a focus. It's not a thing. It's not. Undertaker never won the IC title. No one cares. does it make, I've just literally just put him on my Mount Rushmore. So it just doesn't matter. I think in regards to what he does next, I've got to think that it would be redemption. I've got to think that it would be trying to just win the fans back. I mean, not that he's really lost them. This heel turn has been a bit disappointing to me because I feel like we've just sort of faffed around. Like, I don't hate John. I don't hate John. I mean, all this heel turn has done is it's just kind of made me now not really root for him. That's what it's done. It's kind of turned down my enthusiasm. I think that's my problem with this heel turn, is that actually if you go back and watch the Royal Rumble and it came down to Jay and John Cena as the final two, I was really behind John Cena. I was hoping John was going to do it. Not because I don't like Jay, but because, I wanted John to get 17 and this was his last year, and everyone was behind John. Everyone was rooting for John. Like, we all want John to have the right send-off. So for him to then turn heel and actually, go off on the fans, I don't care about any of that, because I know that it's just a story. I know that it's not real. I know that he doesn't really feel that way, and I know that it's just nonsense. And so, and it is nonsense, because as we've said at the time, like, he is someone that has, had a career, done more Make-A-Wishes than anyone else. All you hear about is how, lovely of a person he is and all this stuff. And that's it. I mean, now he retires. Everyone's behind him. Thanks for the memories. And now you turn him heel. This is why, for me, I sound like a broken record, but that heel turn just... I have no idea why it is kind of put up there with the heel turn of Hogan, because for me, like, it's just not that same level. We're talking about someone that's turned heel at the complete wrong time. We're talking about someone that's turned heel, like, really just because we want to see what it looks like. Even Triple H said, we've done it because we just want to see what it looks like. It was now or never. We either leave that on the table and we never do it, or we do it now. And we chose to do it now. And honestly, I personally would have left it on the table. But then, that moment is a moment that was truly shocking. And there's people out there that have enjoyed this turn. So, but all it's done is it's just made me be a bit like, okay, I'm not really bothered. I'm not bothered. I'm just... I find myself just watching John and not really... I don't root against John. I'm not like, oh my God, get that belt. I am not reacting the way they want people to react. They want me to hate John Cena. They want me to hope that he doesn't ruin wrestling. They want me to be more behind Cody. And I just don't find myself reacting that way. I just sort of watch John and go... I'm not bothered, whatever. He'll be leaving soon, and that last match is going to be emotional. I think they'll turn him face either during that match or just before that match, and that I'm just waiting for that. Really, I'm just kind of watching this and just waiting to get to that. I think we could have done something much more engaging, something that I think I personally would have found myself being more emotionally connected with myself, that I would have been a lot more engaged with, rather than just watching them do this little story that I just don't really find myself really that invested in. So what next? Well, it makes it a bit hard, because I think what they're going to try and do is, if he does lose the title, I don't know if there's any other faces that he wants to go against. But, I mean, there's people he can, like Jey Uso, for example. But he probably, there's some heels that he could face now. There's probably some heels he can have a little bit of a run against. So, I don't know, do we turn him face and then have a little final run towards his retirement match? Does mean we got to faff around with him then saying, I'm sorry, I lost myself for a minute. I never really felt that way. Even though we've had a load of heels going, I've told you. I think even Randy Orton and a load of heels have come out and gone, I told you he was always there like this. I don't know why no one believed me. I saw what he was like back in the day and no one would listen. Well, you're seeing it now, aren't you? So we've already had a load of the heels telling us that he's always been awful. So anyway, somehow we're going to have to try and find a way of making him face again. So that's probably going to kill a couple of segments. That'll kill a couple of appearances as John comes out and apologizes profusely. So we've got all that to go through. And then, you know, maybe we do some other matches. Maybe we do some final matches in our kind of final run. So it's going to have to be something like that, innit? I'd imagine. I think that there's some heels for him to face. I think we'd all love to see him against Gunther. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see him and Gunther. I think that works great for Gunther. So him against Gunther, we could absolutely do. But if he is going to turn, then, you know, he's clearly going to have to apologise to the fans. That's going to... And I can't see it just being, guys, I'm so sorry. And then we just move on. I mean, I think it's going to have to be somewhat a bit deeper than that because... I mean, he's kind of really spoken at length about how he's always resented us. So, you know, trying to turn him back face now is going to be a bit... It's going to be a bit of work, isn't it? I don't know, mate. I'm sure... Do you know what? I'm sure it is all sorted. I'm sure they've got it all perfectly worked out. So, we'll see. We'll see how it plays. It's really difficult to... kind of book this or say like where this goes because you know, I've said from the start I would not have done this personally, right? I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying this isn't what I would have done because it's not what I was looking for and it's not really to my taste. So I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's not what I would have done. So trying now to navigate through it is quite difficult because I wouldn't have done it in the first place, you know? How do you turn John Cena back face now? I mean, do you literally have him just make a save, have a big moment with everyone cheering, and maybe just not focus too much on what he's said? You know, do you do that and let's just move on? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Shakeem24, shout out to you, buds. Shout out to you. And David said, have Cena lose the belt after Seth cashes in at Saturday night's main event after defeating Gunther. Have Cena lose the belt after Seth cashes in at Saturday night's main event after defeating Gunther. Well, that would suggest to me that he's a face. That would suggest to me that he's face. He'd have to be face at that point because you're not going to want to do heel versus heel. And also, yeah, how would that... So he would still have the belt. There's only one Saturday night's main event left, I believe, which is in December, and that is the one where he retires. So he would have to go in as face, facing heel Gunther. He beats him. What is he going to do with that belt then if he's still champion? Or is he, if he's a face, then surely he's going to be moments away from just surrendering it anyway. If he's a face, he's not going to leave him ruin wrestling, is he? So if he's a face, I'm guessing he's just going to leave the belt in the ring and forfeit it, but before that Seth cashes in. Don't know. Don't know. I sort of see where you're coming from. I think Seth will cash in at SummerSlam, personally. I think this injury is a work. I think it's a work. So I think it'll be all eyes on Gunther and Punk. I think it'll be all eyes on Gunther, Punk, and I think that Seth stands a chance coming down and cashing in. That's what I'm thinking, but, well, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, if he really is injured, then, yeah, he'll still have the briefcase, and that'll take us down a different road, won't it? That'll take us down a different road. Right, we are just 8 minutes away. 8 minutes. So, David, thank you. Interesting, trying to chuck that around and see, because I like alternative viewpoints. I like alternative theories. It's interesting to just kind of dig into those and go, okay, if we go that way, how do we get there? What does that mean? Tom, shout out to you, said, can't really rank the Premier League because of position. Never know how good Van Dijk is or how good Salah is. Yeah, it should be a good Premier League this year. It should be a very competitive Premier League this year. Cena Gunther is meant to be Cena's last match, says Davids. Well, yeah, I mean, if so, it's going to have to be as a face. I don't know that he's going into that as a champion. I haven't heard that he'll still have the belt by that point. But, yeah, I mean, if that is the final match, then Cena should have turned face before then. Marshman said, I feel all we did was put the title on Cody. Then we was told, let's wait for Netflix. Then we put it on Cena. So the title has been held hostage for 18 months. Imagine Cody-Drew feud that we could have had, said Marshman. That would have been fun. Yeah, that would have been fun. Where Drew definitely put in. I think a lot of people felt like Drew had really shone during that CM Punk feud, and I think a lot of people were hoping he was going to really kick on this year, and it just hasn't been that way, has it? I mean, I don't know what they're saying to Drew behind the scenes, but it just hasn't really been that way. And now he finds himself in this match, and as I said, I think, you know, honestly, I think he behind the scenes would be a little down on this Jelly Roll Logan thing, but I think Randy being in it probably means that he was like, okay, if Randy's in it, then okay. You know, it's hard to argue when Randy Orton is doing a match, you know. When Randy is kind of standing opposite you, it's hard to complain. I mean, that is an absolute bona fide legend, you know, someone actually that maybe should have been in the Mount Rushmore conversation, but I think if you're having a Mount Rushmore conversation, you probably mention Randy, but I don't think he makes it personally, right? But, you know, still, that kind of, you know, is on the cusp of that sort of conversation. Is such a massive name. Probably just lacking some Mania, needs more Mania main events. But it's massive Hall of Fame, first ballot, headline kind of gets a statue guy, you know. He's that level. So, yeah, I think it's hard for Drew to be kind of down when you're standing opposite Randy. But no doubt he would have wanted to have been in that WWE Championship conversation. No doubt he would have wanted a match with John as well. But obviously that's not been possible with John turning heel. But if he goes back to being face, he might then be able to take on some of the heels, and one of those heels could be Drew McIntyre. Kyle said, for SummerSlam, will we change the stream setup? Maybe put MetLife in the background, make it a bit more colourful? No. I don't know. We'll probably just have like the kind of black generic setup, to be honest. I used to kind of tweak the backgrounds and all that sort of stuff, but I personally didn't feel like it really changed much. I just kind of feel like it's better to focus more on the conversations than worry about the graphics in the background. So I kind of like the setup that we've got. I kind of like the vibe, and I think that it's fine. I mean, yeah, no, I don't really have any plans to kind of change it. We used to change them for PLEs, but we haven't done it for a long time now. On a stream note, my Mount Rushmore, says William, is Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Steve Austin. I see these as the forefathers of what I watch. I think that's very fair. I think the reason why I didn't put Vince on is because I wasn't really thinking about non-wrestlers. I know Vince has wrestled, but I certainly wouldn't put him on the Mount Rushmore for his wrestling. So I think that for me, I was looking at like those names that really defined eras. You could make an argument Vince and Stone Cold defined the Attitude Era. I can hear that as an argument, but that was the reason I left him off, because I was looking at people that were really wrestlers. Ric Flair, I think his major contributions for me are more outside of WWE. So you can put Ric Flair on, but for me, if it's a WWE Mount Rushmore, Ric Flair misses out. If it's a wrestling Mount Rushmore, Ric Flair definitely goes on. I agree with you. And then you've gone Hogan and Stone Cold, yeah. So I think Williams kind of approaching this from a logical sense and actually looking at it as kind of like a pro wrestling Mount Rushmore, more so than just a WWE focused one. And I think that's yeah, about right. Honestly, I don't think anyone had a bigger impact on pro wrestling than Vince McMahon. So him going on makes total sense. But again, if the kind of personal stuff, this stuff away from the wrestling world disqualifies him for you, then okay. Same with Hogan. People might feel that way. And maybe some will feel that way about Ric Flair as well. That maybe some of the personal stuff disqualifies him. But if you kind of put all that to one side and just focus on their impact for the business, yeah, Vince, Hogan, Flair, Austin, I think you bang on. I think you're absolutely bang on. Ben said, I know Mount Rushmore differs from people to people. I would say Hogan, San Martino, Taker, and Austin. Well, I mean, you can very much make the argument when it comes to San Martino that you don't get to Hogan, you don't get to Stone Cold without San Martino. I mean, WWE needed to find a way of continuing throughout the 60s and the 70s, you know. I mean, if business had not worked for those decades, I mean, we're not talking a short period. You know, throughout the 60s and 70s, that 20-year period, Bruno is champion for 11 years. And actually, the company doesn't even start till, I think, it's 63. So actually, it's not a 20-year period. It's a 17-year period. And Bruno is champion for 11 years of them. So, it's his contribution is staggering in that time. Right, here we go. We are getting underway. SummerSlam 2008. And we got a really cool intro as we're looking back at some of the old SummerSlam moments. So yeah, Ben, I hear you, definitely. I love seeing San Martino on there. Days for SummerSlam. Oh, we read that one from Carl. Finley said, the last time is now. PX no more. PX no more. What's PX mean? I'm not sure what PX means. Oh, is that Project X? Got you. Got you. Okay, we have got Edge. Little video package showing how we got to his match with The Undertaker. Yeah, this is the time where he had broke up with Vicky, wasn't it? So I think, wasn't it that Vicky punishes Edge by bringing The Undertaker back? The biggest blockbuster of the summer. WWE Summerslam. Yeah, man, look at that. The cinema kind of entrance. Obviously, they were going with this being the biggest blockbuster. Kind of going with that kind of film vibe. This is the summer blockbuster that everyone's waiting for. This is SummerSlam. And we've got the entrance stage kind of decorated like a cinema. A cinema entrance. We're in Indianapolis. Six years in the making. John Cena, Batista, first time ever. CM Punk, JBL. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. CM Punk's World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H taking on the Great Khali. WWE Championship on the line. Let's go. Right, we're kicking things off. Days, can I tweet you my Fantasy Premier League code to retweet? Yes. Yes, you can, as Jeff Hardy is making his way down. On the wall. Okay, here's Jeff Hardy. Loads of fans dressed as Jeff in the crowd. Loads of signs. This is such a great period for Jeff Hardy. So he's going to be in action, taking on MVP. That's what I want. Yeah, look at the amount of signs that are in the crowds. I love CM Punk. I love Jeff Hardy. Taz and Jim Ross are on commentary for this. Obviously, we've got Raw, we got SmackDown, we got ECW. So we're going to have quite a few different commentators. Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler are obviously going to be on the call as well. Okay, here's MVP. It's just, we spoke about this before. I could never get into MVP. I never got it. I never felt it. I never cared. I just didn't see it. Saturday night's main event was just a couple of weeks before. So this is when we did Edge and Jeff, and you can see MVP on the outside getting involved. So MVP was interrupting in matches. And that's led to this singles match. There's no title on the line or anything here. It's just a normal, straightforward singles match. But yeah, we spoke. I think we did a WrestleMania 24 watch along. I think MVP was on that, and I was like, I just never saw it, man. I never got it. It never clicked with me. Here we go, Jeff Hardy and MVP. You can see the smoke that's in there from all the pyro. There's a haze that's in the arena right now. On the outside, getting back into the ring. Big boot there by MVP as Jeff Hardy's on the outside, grabbing the legs, pulling him out the ring. And straight into a barricade spot. MVP down and Jeff interacting with the fans early. And right now smashing MVP into the edge of the ring. Every time I heard MVP's music, I have that version of Brock dancing to it at the Royal Rumble in 2020, said that vision. Said it's Kaz. Hello, it's Kaz. Days, where are you watching this, said Julian. It's on WWE Vault, buds. It's on WWE Vault. WWE Vault is showing it. Obviously, we've got SummerSlam 2025 next weekend. Those streams will hopefully be set up tonight. And we'll be live for those. We'll be live on Friday for SmackDown. Live on Saturday. Live on Sunday. Live on Monday. It's a big weekend next weekend. So, Jeff Hardy working on the arm of MVP as MVP is trying to get back up to his feet. Jeff Hardy over against the ropes. MVP right on him at the moment as right now looking to take him over. Lovely work there by Jeff. Jeff working on the arm. Keeping MVP grounded. And there's still that haze, isn't there? I think as well, wasn't it around this time that they're going HD? Right now, that's a better camera angle, a bit clearer. That one, it's still quite hazy. MVP is in the corner as right now we got Jeff Hardy. It's been a bit of a slow start to this one. Bit of work on the outside. There's some real Real wrestling that's been going on as they've been grabbing some holds. Kick coming into the midsection. There's a big shot there by Jeff. Another boot to the midsection as MVP is being driven back to the corner. Referee coming in, trying to get Jeff Hardy to just back up a little bit. And again, another big shot. Just looking at some of the signs in the background, seeing it's a bit like a time capsule. It's really, oh, that's a lovely throw there by MVP. That was great. That looked really good. Look at that, right into the corner. Bang! Yeah, very quick snap belly to belly there by MVP. Look, very impressive. Right now, grabbing a hold of Jeff. And you can actually see in the entranceway, just above where they come down, they've actually got the match that's on right now. Now showing MVP versus Jeff Hardy. Michael said, what was your first wrestling event? Well, the first one that I went to, Buds, was a house show in Birmingham. And actually, Raw is going to be coming from that exact room, I think in August. They're going to actually do a Raw in Birmingham. And it is in the room that I went to when I went to my first house show. It's also the same room that I saw my first gig in as well. It's there's a place called the NEC, the National Exhibition Centre. It's a big exhibition, loads of exhibition halls, but they've got this decent size arena as well. And WWE, whenever they came over, they would run that hall, they would run that arena. And a lot of big bands do that arena as well. So my first gig that I ever went to was in that room, in that arena. The first WWE show I went to was in that arena as well. So it'll be really special actually to see that, how it comes across on TV when we go and do a Raw there. So it's just a house show that I first went to. The first WWE show I remember ever seeing was Survivor Series 92. That's the first one I ever remember seeing. Going over, grabbing a hold of the leg as Jeff's trying to get over to the ropes. Single leg Boston being applied here by MVP. There is a video on the channel of footage of me from 92, and I've got like WWE presents. I've got WWE items as like Christmas gifts. So like that was kind of mind-blowing to me, to be honest. It was kind of mind-blowing because that was I didn't realize that I'd fallen for wrestling that hard that quick, you know. Because if you think Survivor Series is like November, and if that's the first thing I remember seeing, like getting wrestling stuff, like, you know, literally a few weeks later, it's quick, isn't it? It made me wonder if actually I hadn't seen any stuff a bit before that. Honestly, it made me think, do I just remember Survivor Series 92, but perhaps I'd seen some stuff earlier than that? I don't know. Kicks coming in by MVP. What was yours, Michael? What was yours, chat? What was your first WWE event that you saw? Oh, big shot there by MVP as Jeff Hardy goes down on the outside to the back of Jeff Hardy. What I will say about MVP is I was never a fan of MVP, but as a result, it did make him a decent heel. You know, he's someone that I don't root for. You know, you want Jeff to win here. He's a good foil for a babyface. He's a bit Miz-like in that sense. Right now, we've got Jeff being driven upside down in the corner. And he's kind of tied up in the corner. Looking at what people are wearing, I'm seeing some people in like John Cena shirts. Lots of support for Jeff Hardy. There's a dude in the crowd standing up that's got a Santina Morello shirt on. So, yeah, right now we've got Jeff upside down in the corner. MVP is controlling this. 1, 2, and shoulder up there by Jeff. Dick Cheney said, when you say we, as if you've worked with WWE, you're just a fan, you're not on the team, said Dick. Yeah, so we've spoke about that before, actually. And James gave me a really good answer to that. So it was quite a while ago that I noticed that I was doing that. And I was like, oh, why do I say we? Like, we, when I talk about WWE. And, yeah, James said it's like when you root for your favourite team, like Man United, or you root for, like, you know, England or whatever. You're not on those teams. You're not one of the players on those teams. But, you know, if I talk about Man United, I will say, we're looking at this player at the moment. We're hoping to get this player in is what I've read. And so you use the word we. And I've been watching WWE since, you know, the early 90s. Like, this is basically like the team I support. This is the brand I support. This is the team that I choose to follow. So, yeah, naturally, I just say we. But I did wonder that a few years ago. But I thought that was a really good answer by James. Like, it's just like supporting like your favorite sports team. This is my favorite brand. MVP charging over and Sling Blade there by Jeff Hardy. MVP goes down. Wrestle Andy said, I love these eras of WWE in between those boom periods. I've watched all the shows live, but because they're not talked about, when you rewatch it, it's good nostalgia, said Wrestle with Andy. Wrestle with Andy, shout out to you, buds. Yes. It's. I said I find this to be a very interesting year because it's a year that's got really big moments in it, and it's also a year of like transition. This is the PG kind of transition, but there's some really interesting things that's kind of swirling around at these times. But I mean, you're absolutely right. Yeah, we're kind of not booming too much at this point, but there's still some really good stuff that's going on. I wonder if that's kind of how 2025 will be remembered. We're not like, I suppose we are doing well financially, but it's not like 23, 24. But I wonder if people will be like, oh, there was still some really good stuff that happens. I don't know what they'll then say. Hopefully they find some stuff. I've struggled a little, but no, there was. The women have been doing great work. Evolution was fantastic. The triple threat at WrestleMania was incredible. Oh, the Swanton misses by Jeff. MVP going back over to the corner. Jeff down. MVP looking to charge over. Right in the side of the head. 1, 2, 3, and he gets it. MVP gets it. Thanks to outside interference. Let's get match scores, shall we? See what you lot thought about this. This is also the advantage of going back and watching these, is we can get the community's thoughts. So there we go. MVP picks up the dub. Carl said, speaking of England, well done to the Lionesses. Back-to-back champions. Yeah, very good. Very good. Kyle said, Days, do you think WWE will ever go back to custom stages, or will it stay however it is? Well, Kyle, I don't think it'll stay as it is like this forever, but I think they've probably got the same attitude I've now got with, like, you know, changing the graphics really so much. I don't think they feel that it makes a massive difference. It makes a difference to their financials. It obviously costs money to have stages designed and custom made for like each show, and that's an expenditure that they just clearly do not want. That, you know, they're trying to charge more money and, you know, cut different bits and bobs. It doesn't really make much sense for them to go and spend a load on custom stages. So I under TKO, I don't see it happening. I think their thoughts are that it just doesn't really make a big difference. And to be honest with you, it's a nice extra thing, but I agree. I mean, we didn't get like a custom stage for Evolution, and yet that is such a highly regarded show. Because bottom line is, at the end of the day, it's how good are the matches, and, you know, what are the talking points, and, you know, maybe a custom stage helps in regards to talking points. Perhaps it would contribute, but As we said, I don't think it hurts somewhat like Evolution. We got a little backstage interview. We got Maria interviewing Beth Phoenix and Santino. Santino's going to be wrestling on Tuesday, isn't he? I think he's actually going to be competing for the North American Championship. That is awkward, says Santino. There we go. So that is a tag match we got coming up. The Intercontinental Championship and the Women's Championship both on the line in a tag match. James, I've shared your codes. Right. Dcash said, my first pay-per-view that I went to was SummerSlam. It was the Brock versus Rock one. What a card. Amazing. And when Rock tried to nicely say he was leaving again, we booed him out the building, said Dcash. Ah, here it is. Mixed tag match. Okay, here we go. Women's Championship and Intercontinental Championship on the line in this one. Here's Mickie James making her way down. So Mickie James is going to be teaming with Kofi Kingston, taking on Glamorella. And as I said, this lives rent-free in my head, this match. William said, how is the UK so rich with so little land and natural resources? Is it trade, or is Great Britain own land and things in other countries? We are... we're good with services, banking. So we actually make a lot of money from that. We've got very good banking. Like, we was like one of the major hubs in the world for banking. I know a lot of money comes out of that. But yeah, you know, historically, we had the Empire as well. So, I mean, we had obviously a lot of money that came out of that through largely illegal means. You know, you don't want to dig too much into Britain's history because it gets a little bit awkward. We weren't the nicest people in the world, right? So, yeah. But to be honest with you, we were flat broke after World War II. Absolutely flat broke. So, I mean, we've had to try and find a way of kind of rebuilding since World War II. And, yeah, it's kind of... obviously, there's a lot of debt and whatever. But stuff like that, honestly, it's banking services is where we make a lot of money. I mean, London is... There's a big disparity because London is obviously one of the great cities in the world and is full of money and wealth. And but actually, when you move away from London, a lot of the other cities are quite far behind. You know, there's a lot of parts of the UK that can feel very run down. It's the same in all countries. I mean, America's the greatest economy in the world. You've got plenty of places that feel run down. Plenty of places like Detroit that I think has kind of felt a shift with manufacturing kind of ending. And like, you know, new services are right, like the tech industry booming. But like old manufacturing industries kind of going out of business. It's just the ever-changing world, isn't it? I think a lot of people are hoping AI is going to be like the next big boom. Is going to be the next thing. Okay, we have got this mixed tag match, which, as I said, is really fun to go back to because I do often think about this match. Okay, so Beth is going to start us off with Mickie James. Kofi goes to the outside as well. We've changed over our commentators. We got Michael Cole, and I think it's Jerry Lawler. I haven't heard yet. Yeah, it is. Right now, we got Mickie going up, landing on her feet. I like Mickey's gear. Again, going round the back. She always had good gear with those kind of flares. Right now, Beth Phoenix trying to find a way of getting out of this hold. Mickey goes down. So, again, the winning team get the championships. So the women's title on the line, but the Intercontinental title on the line as well. Mickie James going against the ropes. I'd love to do something like that in this day and age. I think that would be so good. Mickey against the ropes. Another drop kick there by Mickey. Going for the cover and kick out there by Beth. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be so good if we did... I mean, imagine if you had Liv as the women's champion, Dominic as the Intercontinental champion, kind of going up against, say, Roxanne and Finn, and you do this match where it's a tag match, but actually the team that wins gets the 2 titles. Amazing. Let's do it. Let's go. Right now, Santino getting... rolled over there by... he went to hit Mickey. Mickey tags in. Here's Kofi. Oh, mate, that was so good. That crossbody in the air. I used to love Kofi Kingston. When he was like this, like, he would come in, he'd be so explosive. He was so athletic. I mean, he's still great now, but obviously, you know, the explosiveness, the athleticism, it's kind of dialed down a little bit. The speed that he's moving at here. Big uppercut coming in there by Kofi. So pleased that he got his moment. So pleased that we got Kofi Mania. Beth on the edge of the ring. Drop kick there by Mickey. Beth goes to the outsides. Kofi looking to go back against the ropes. Over the... Oh, excellent work. Santino jumped into the arms of Beth. He was worried that Kofi was going to land on top of him. Kofi actually kind of bounces off the ropes. You see Tyler Bate do that a lot in this day and age. Right now, going for the cover there. Santino taking advantage. As there's an elbow that comes in. I think that's a wristband, is it? Something just came flying off Kofi. Very impressive, that by Kofi, look. Very impressive. Santino in control then. Crowd are really into this, you know. Elbow coming into the midsection there by Kofi. Digging in some shots as well. Tag being made. In comes Beth. She's coming in and throwing in some shots to Kofi. Another kick coming in there by Beth as a quick tag is made. Here's Santino. Santino throwing in a shot there to Kofi. Santino with Kofi looking for a suplex. 1. Just a 1 count. Santino pulling back on Kofi there. Nice chin lock being applied. Days, have you ever seen the horror short called Unedited Footage of a Bear? It's Adult Swim, and it was similar to There's People in This House. It's about a woman that abuses prescription drugs, said Jack. I think I've seen it. There's one that is... I think I've seen it. There's one that's like a commercial to do with a drug, and I believe that one had a website, and if you went to the website that was the website for the drug, you could click on the website and you could click on the house in the background, and you got closer to the house. It was really weird. So it had the drug in the foreground being advertised, and this house in the background. If you click on the house gets closer. Click again, it gets closer. Click again, you go inside. And like inside the house, all sunny and lovely outside. Inside the house, it's dark and empty and moody, and they're so interesting, those Adult Swim things, because there's lots of Easter eggs that are hidden in them. So I think that, if you can tell me if I'm wrong, I think that one was connected to Unedited Footage of a Bear. I just remember like a woman in a car going down a street, and it being like a commercial for a drug. Yeah, I've not seen it in a while, but we was talking about There Are People in This House and how weird that is, how spooky it is. Kick there by Mickey. Bang! Spike DDT by Mickey. Santino down, but Beth Phoenix from behind nails Mickey. She's going to look to put her away. Beth Phoenix slams her down, gets it. Glamorella. 1, 2, 3. Santino has won and he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. Look, she comes over. She's trying to revive him. He hasn't got a clue, look. She's trying to shout and he's like, "Is it for me?" Mate, it was the best. Clinging onto the title. Look at him. Oh my God. Look at all the kisses. He was so wildly entertaining. I flipping love Santino. So good. So good. Right now is on the shoulders of Beth Phoenix. She's doing well to hold his weight, honestly. She looks a little bit unsteady. But there we go. Santino on the shoulders of Beth. I bet she's thinking there, cut off us. She's smiling, but her facial expression is telling me a different emotion as well. She's like, you can see that that is heavy. Fair play, man. That's more than her body weight, isn't it? There we go. So we are celebrating in the entranceway. Glamorella, victorious. I've missed you, he says to the belt. Good. Fun. That first match was okay. It was nice to see Jeff. Second match from an in-ring point of view, fine. But the ending is just, yeah, really entertaining. Right, I don't know what we're going to now, actually. Shawn? Oh, yeah, this is when he was, like, retiring. Okay, getting your thoughts on that second one. Jennifer said, I saw Kofi at a house show when I was a rookie. Had no idea who this guy was. Totally won the entire crowd. My brother and I noted his name on the back of our tickets. Kofi Kingston. He is one of those talents, isn't he? He's kind of like, if you didn't know Javon Evans and you went to see Javon Evans, you'd be like, who's that guy? I could see that being like today's equivalent. So yeah, I totally get that. I can see you doing that in my mind's eye. Who's that guy? Like, and trying to find out and jotting down the name so you can check him out again. Okay, so we're just seeing what went down in their previous match and the damage that was done to Shawn. That was brutal beat down this, look. So much blood that they... I think I heard I think Vince actually said we're never going to do anything like that again after that match. It was that brutal. So Shawn's actually coming out. Right, Shawn is coming down to the ring, and he is not coming alone. I remember this now. I didn't remember it, but I remember it now. Now that Rebecca's with him, his wife. So there is Shawn Michaels with his wife. I believe she was a Nitro girl, wasn't she? He did well, didn't he? And, let's be honest, he did very well. She could have been his Miss Elizabeth. She looks like a lovely, classy lady. Oh my God, guys, we could have had a new Miss Elizabeth. It could have been her. Look, she looks emotional. HBK, don't retire. So good. This is so good. I want to thank everyone that supported us during this difficult time. Let's get right to it. Due to complications. His recommendation was for me to walk away. Loud boos ringing out as HBK says he's been told by his doctors he should walk away. There's his wife, look, with tears running down her face. It's time for me to heed the doctor's advice. Crowd are booing. Shawn Michaels in the ring. I've had a wonderful career, says Shawn. You've given me the opportunity to be the showstopper. To be the hot. Isn't it amazing? Isn't this amazing? Imagine saying to these fans, this guy still has not had his 2 best matches yet. Well, actually more. There's other matches he has. D-Generation X. Definitely. Well, I think you might even be able to make an argument he's not had his 3 best matches yet. We've just done the Ric Flair match. Actually, that would probably be in the top 3. I've got an opportunity to be known as something else. A full-time husband. Yeah, is that why she's crying? Is that why she's crying? Because he's going to be home all the time now. Got it. I thought she was crying because of him retiring, but now it makes sense. Right, so just as he was... Oh, you see them people in the front row immediately going... They must have sensitive hearing. Makes you imagine if we heard this again. How would people react if this music hit and Jericho came back at WWE? People would lose their minds. I don't care what people say if they're like hating on Jericho and all this, hating the learning tree. Jericho's music hits and he comes down to the ring. Here's Jericho coming down, looking very angry. Jericho. Jericho in a suit. William said, has anyone made the connection of Becky in the yellow and reds? Was something Hogan would have seen whilst alive 2 weeks in a row? Did she know? Do you know what? No, I've not made that connection. It's because, wasn't it Evolution? There was a Becky Hogan sign. I don't know that. I don't know how long he was ill for. Jericho says no. I said no. I'm not letting you go out this way. So Jericho's like, no. You're leaving this business because of Chris Jericho. Admit that to my face right now. Mate, this is so good. This is so good. If you've got any decency, you'd get out of this ring right now. So he's desperate for him to admit, I'm the one that damaged your eye. You need to admit it to your kids. You need to admit it to yourself. You need to admit it to me. Can we just give Rebecca her flowers? She's doing such a great job here. Imagine watching this live. Oh, mate, this is a true popcorn moment. All your accomplishments, all your accolades. So Chris Jericho says, everything you've achieved is irrelevant because the final line in your career is that you was forced to retire because of Chris Jericho. I'll go home. I'll sit my wife down. I'll sit my kids down. Good line. Good line by Shawn. I'll tell my kids that I can't wrestle because of a vile, worthless human being. Mate, this is top draw. Ugh. I'll do that. I'll tell that to my kids, but you tell your kids that Daddy'll never be Shawn Michaels. It's so good. It's look at the top lip of Jericho. You can feel it, man. You can feel the hatreds. Mate, this might be like Hogan Andre. This is Hogan Andre. This face-to-face right now is flipping everything. Right now, Shawn's wife has come over and she's telling him, come on, let's go. Boom, mates! Look at that! Look at that big shot there by Jericho towards Shawn. Shawn moved out the way. Jericho hits Shawn Michaels' wife. Mate, it's so good. It's so good. Look at Shawn. She's out cold, mate. She was incredible during this segment. Absolutely incredible. And look at Shawn. He's checking on her. But there's a side of him that just wants to rip Chris Jericho apart right now. I don't know where Chris has gone, actually. He's out the ring. Chris didn't intend that, or certainly didn't look like he intended that, but there he is, look, trying to back away, walk away. We've got medics and people have come down. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Look at him, man, just staring over at Jericho. The top of the cinema sign says Shawn Michaels announcement. Mate, that is so good. We have to rate that as a separate segment. HBK segment. Segment score. There's Jericho backing off. I don't think I've ever heard Shawn talk about this or Jericho talk about this. I don't really listen to Jericho's podcast, to be honest. That's on me. Did you see the Triple Mania news? It's going to be live on YouTube. Oh, okay. Okay. We may give that a watch. I don't know when it's on. Actually, is her lip swelling up? I think was her lips. I actually didn't notice that before. Mate, that was so good. How much reckon Shawn backstage spoke to Jericho about don't you dare, you better be careful with this shot. Yeah. There's a bruise there. There's swelling there. Mate, I need to know. I need to go back and know what happened backstage. I don't know. Mate, I don't remember that being that bad. I don't remember that being that, but I don't remember that. Let's drop that on the old to-do list. Listen to Shawn Jericho talk about SummerSlam 2008. Mate. Jerry Lawler on commentary is like, I have never seen anything like that. Do you reckon Shawn's there going, I'm actually going to kill him when we get backstage? He's saying something to his wife there. He's got her head and he's saying something to... I just want you to know I'm going to absolutely murder him for real. He should never have actually touched you and I can't believe this is happening. I just want you to know I'm going to rip his balls off. I'm going to absolutely rip his balls off. I don't know why I don't remember that being that bad. Oh, come on. How much do you wish WWE Unreal was backstage right now? Come on. You shut up. All of you people out there going, oh, they shouldn't expose the business. They shouldn't show behind... What, you don't want a camera in Gorilla right now? You don't want a camera in Gorilla to see what was said? Oh, my God. I pray to the Lord above that the footage comes out backstage of moments after this segment. Triple Mania being live on YouTube is fantastic news, said Undercover Manager. And if the numbers are anything like we are probably all expecting, then it will get English language TV deal or a streaming deal. And that would be great, said Undercover Manager. Well, I'm definitely down. Definitely down for checking it out. I just need to know what else is on that day, of course. You know me, I just bounce from weekend to weekend. I didn't know what we were doing this weekend, last weekend. I do know what we're doing next weekend. Right, we're moving on. ECW Championship coming up next. 5 5 and 0. So goods, 100, good, 97. So far the 2 matches, I think that's fair, honestly. I don't know that we've had any great matches, but I think the end of the mixed tag match was really fun. We're already 50 minutes into this show. We're already 50 minutes in. Catherine said she zigged when she should have zagged. Blue World Sonic said Chris hitting the back elbow to Shawn I bleeding. Chris hitting the back elbow to Shawn I don't know what you mean, but her lip was swollen, but it looks like he might have hit it. Damn, said Star. Jericho was upset he hit her, said Steve. The look on the face outside the ring was a real reaction. He apologized backstage after the segment was over. Is that what? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know what happened backstage. It's one that I could believe that. Are you saying, is that what, have you just Googled that one? Like, have you heard him talk about it? Noctivux said WWE Vault, find that footage. Absolutely. Absolutely. AAA news is great news, said Noctivux. Konsu, formerly Nick the Train Guy, said, Days, as the official spokesperson and mascot of the DWO, I've got to announce that it is the birthday of Nita Nitro, and we all wish Nita a very happy birthday. So, Nita Nitro, happy birthday, my friends. Happy birthday. And we've got Konsu in our community now. Okay, so Matt Hardy and Mark Henry is where we are. Tony Atlas with Mark Henry at this time. ECW Championship. Days, did you like the WWE CW? I liked the first year or two until it went to arenas. It was okay. It never massively grabbed me, to be honest. I think that it was fine. I found it to be a bit skippable, honestly. I found it to not really be like essential viewing. It was a real mixed bag. It was good for obviously emerging talent. There was obviously, I think actually that's probably the reputation that it's got as well, isn't it? That there's a lot of big names that actually came through that brand and were introduced through that brand. So I think it's got a good reputation in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It felt very skippable, missable at times. It did not feel essential viewing, and I think that it's very much lost its way. But then, of course, you know, when 2010 it gets cancelled, isn't it? We got Tony Atlas getting involved, and that's DQ. Matt Hardy being thrown into the ring steps. Tony Atlas with a DQ. I mean, there's no point score in this match. I'm going to end the poll. Here's Jeff Hardy coming down. Jeff Hardy unloading on Tony Atlas. Swanton to the outsides. That thing is like all of flipping 10 seconds. So we got the Hardys on the outside. We're battling away with Mark Henry. Big kicks coming in, looking for a suplex. Bang. Crowd are going crazy, but it's a bit disappointing, isn't it, if you're Matt? Sign in the crowd said, we've seen enough. V1 sign in the crowd as well. Such a shame, innit? I mean, there was so much, like, not a lot of those ECW championship matches were, like, really short. So Matt wins by disqualification, but the belt stays with Mark Henry. Just a load of nonsense. Right, the segments you lot said was great. 83. Wow, that's a good score. Great 83. 0% of you said it was bad. So great 83. I expect nothing less from you, Nick says Nita Nitro. That match was rubbish, said Zoom Station. Didn't even get going, did it, to be honest? Okay, we are going back over to Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. The woman in the background looks a lot like Sasha Banks. It isn't, but it does look a lot like her. Jet Black Stare is the group that have provided the official theme for this SummerSlam. So, SummerSlam 2008. Will Edge and Vicky divorce? Get in your thoughts. Jerry Lawler said you don't really know a woman until you meet her in court. There's CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. The World Heavyweight Champion. So we've got a CM Punk video package. So over. I loved Punk in this period. I mean, I love Punk now, but this is like peak Punk for me. JBL. A really good foil for Punk. I mean, if you think about the kind of attitude that Punk has, JBL is just the complete opposite. A drinking contest. Sasha Banks was seen in the background of an episode of Raw, I think, back in 2010, said Kader. Oh, yeah, I don't know about that, but I could believe that she was going to shows. I mean, I could believe she was at this SummerSlam, but... She was a lifelong fan, wasn't she? I mean, she speaks a lot about when she was young, loving and watching Eddie Guerrero. So, you know, she's someone that was a fan. Jericho accidentally hit HBK's wife, busting her lip. Backstage, he was horrified. He apologized to Sean Rebecca, who reassured him. WWE used the accident to intensify the feuds. Steve, thank you. I'm wondering if he's ever spoke about it on his podcast and actually said what it was like backstage. I mean, like, Sean's never done an interview, like, podcast series, so I don't know that he might have spoke about it. I've never seen him speak about it. But Jericho's got his podcast, so I'm sure he must have covered it. I'm going to Google it, actually. I'm going to have a look, see if there is Jericho SummerSlam 2008 podcast. There's not an episode dedicated to SummerSlam, but he does discuss it on Talk is Jericho. It just says that he does talk about it, but it doesn't actually say where. AI said that he's never done an episode on SummerSlam 2008, but it must be unlike his I'll have a look on his YouTube channel. Okay, we've only got 4 matches left. 4 matches left. And they're obviously massive matches. They're for top titles. Or we've got Cena and Batista still to come. That's not for any of the any belts. That's just the first time that they're going to be facing. So Batista is... JBL is in the ring. Here comes CM Punk. Mate, used to love this music. This was the last era we got before social media. At that time, you would have watched the show without being on your phone, said Wrestling Andy. True, mate. True. That changes everything, doesn't it? I mean, like, you can still see people have got digital cameras in the crowds. I mean, there's people with cameras, not with phones. Do you know, I mean, it is great as a time capsule. I mean, that's a camera. That's a camera. That's a camera. I mean, people have got their digital cameras out. Maybe there's early smartphones, but I don't really know when they're coming in. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a bit of a time capsule. You're absolutely right. You can still see plenty of flashes. CM Punk's made his way down. So this is going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk defending against JBL. Every time I think of JBL, it reminds me of John O'Clock on What Culture with the King Ross guy, says Concy. The crowd is dead, said Manny. They're picking up a little bit. They are quieter than I was expecting, actually, for this, yeah. Bella's sounded. We are underway. JBL, CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk with the long hair in this time period. JBL powering CM Punk back. JBL, the bigger guy, the stronger guy, I would imagine. As he was just driving CM Punk back to the corner. CM Punk coming over. Knee coming into the midsection. Big clubbing blow to the back there by JBL. Shot coming into the side of the head. Nice headlock being applied there by JBL. Keeping CM Punk grounded. Big Mix Gaming said, watching these old pay-per-views make me miss the days where WWE took pride in how the entrance stage looked. I hope all is well. Appreciate you. Big Mix Gaming, shout out to you, my friends. Yeah, there's a lot of people that would like to see those custom stages coming back. We spoke about it earlier. I don't see it happening under TKO's watch because it's just an expense, isn't it? Goes on that bottom line, that expenditure line, and you know, we're in a time period where they'll flipping slap a sponsor on anything to make as much money as they can. I don't think they then want that money going out to custom stages, so I was surprised they went as big as they did with this year's WrestleMania stage, honestly. So through the ropes goes CM Punk with the suicide dive. Is up top, crossbody, down goes JBL. Looking for the cover, but a kick out there by JBL. CM Punk looking to go back against the rope. Shoulder barge there by JBL as Punk goes down. And JBL looking over at CM Punk, stomping on the hand. Bradshaw had a good size to him. And that played a big part in his success, because here he is, like, just outsizing, outmuscling CM Punk. From a technical in-ring point of view, he's not going to be able to match him, but, you know, he's a brawler. Here we go. He's going to go for a fall-away slam off that middle rope, and CM Punk planted. Michael Cole talking about how the ribs cracked. As it's a 2 count, shoulder up there by CM Punk. Yeah, I mean, you haven't heard any loud, overwhelming CM Punk chants. I agree. I am a bit surprised kind of going back and not hearing that. Lovely shot to the back there by JBL. And again, another blow. Big Mig said if TKO had a stage, it'd just be full of sponsors. It's true. Absolutely true. It would look like a flipping grocery store, wouldn't it, with all the brands? That might be cool, though. You know, have the entrance stage look like a grocery store. That way you could have loads of big brands, like sponsored, and then we could do like a supermarket brawl with like the entrance stage. Oh my God, that's a really good idea, Big Mix. Look what you've done. It works for TKO and it works for us. That would be so flipping good. Proper whole thing just looks like a grocery store. Checkout, shelving, products. That would be something really different. Very visually stimulating. Right now we got a bear hug being applied. BK said, do you think this year's SummerSlam will have a custom stage? I don't think it'll have a custom stage. I mean, I think it'll have a stage like WrestleMania. I think it'll be a big stage, lots of screens, and I think it'll be like that. I don't think it'll be necessarily a custom stage. I don't know that, I don't know they're going to want that expenditure. I think TKO see this as a business, obviously. It's about how much money can we make, how much can we charge and get off tickets, how much can we make from sponsorship, how much can we make from merchandise, and how little can we spend. I mean, we are like putting HR departments together, you know, we're kind of making cutbacks head office, and, you know, we're kind of really trying to, you know, they just trimmed the budget, didn't they? You know, they just trimmed the budget. We almost lost R-Truth. We've lost Sonya Deville. We've lost Cora Jade. Like, you know, we've said goodbye to wrestlers. We've said goodbye to head office staff. We've kind of brought in more sponsorships. Ticket prices have gone up, blah, 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 blah. I think it's just hard to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I think they're going to spend a load on a custom stage. Like, that just doesn't gel with the TKO mindset for me. So I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting a big stage, and I'm expecting a pretty generic stage, very like full of screens. You know, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to spend something, aren't they? You've got to have some sort of entrance stage. I don't think we're going to go back to just like a cloth entrance like we used to do back in the 80s. So they're going to have some sort of stage, but I don't know that you're going to end up with nice things like this. It'd be nice if you did. I know there's the appetite for it. Right now, we've got an abdominal stretch being applied here by JBL. And CM Punk definitely feeling this. Definitely feeling it. Jennifer said JBL is a brawler type, not an electric wrestler. It was his rich yuppie character that allowed him to be the heel champ and succeed for so long. People love to boo the crooked rich guy, said Jennifer. Bang on. James said, have Whataburger sponsor the Wyatt Six. They would feel right at home then. Very true. I don't know why Whataburger don't get the Wyatt Six in for their TV commercials, honestly. I feel like we speak about them so much because of the Wyatt Six. Oh my God. Did you see what that company did? The company that's the Coldplay company. That was so clever. They basically got Gwyneth Paltrow in, Chris Martin's ex-wife, to be their spokesperson, to kind of basically talk about how they're now ready to move on from all the controversy. I thought it was so clever. JBL dropping elbows on CM Punk. Wearing him down. He absolutely is. Just, you know, when you find a move in a video game that works and you spam it. That's what we just had from JBL. Elbow. Elbow, elbow. And you're just watching the health meter go down. You're like, yeah. I got him. I've got him. Forearm shot coming in there by JBL. Shot coming back there by CM Punk. These two going back and forth at the moment. Slap coming in there by Punk. JBL in the middle of the ring. Punk trying to find a way of getting back into this match. He's definitely behind. Here we go. Slap coming in. Few shots. Spinning back fist. Kick coming in there by Punk. JBL goes down. Shoots the half. Yes. Who told us that? Someone said that Vince loves it when you shoot the half. God, who said that? 1, 2. Oh, that was good, actually. That was really good. Punk coming off the ropes. Bradshaw grabbing him into a slam, but only getting a 2. I can't remember where I've heard that. There was a really famous interview where it was revealed that Vince loves it when you shoot the half, which is where you kind of tie up the arm and turn them over to get the pin. Punk just did that, by the way. JBL down. JJ said the episodes were good. It still has nostalgia from the Attitude Era, and it was still switching over to the product that we see today. What match are you looking forward to at SummerSlam 2025, said I Am Philip. Well, it's the main event, isn't it? It's Cody and Cena. I think it's the one that's got the most intrigue. I'm looking forward to that because I want to know what's next in that story. Bit of blood on the hand there of Punk. Because we're dealing with the WWE Championship, you know. And we kind of, because of it being no DQ, we're expecting someone to come down. There's word that Travis Scott has fallen out with him, so I don't think it's going to be him. There's word that The Rock is not expected to be there, but I don't know if that's true. And there's word that Cody's not going to turn heel. I don't know if that's true. But this is what is being spoken about. So I think for me, that one, because I don't expect the match to be brilliant, but it will certainly be better than their WrestleMania match. But I just really want to know how they're going to play it. I really want to know how this is going to, next chapter of this story is going to go. Actual in-ring wise, I don't know. I mean, I think Naomi, Io, Rhea, because Io, Rhea have been in a couple of matches this year that are right up there with Match of the Year. I can't see how adding Naomi makes it worse. Yeah, I don't know where this blood's coming from, but there is blood because you can see a patch of it in the ring. I don't know if the blood's coming from his hands, CM Punk's hands. He went for that lariat, but didn't get it. GTS connects, but he's taking too long. 1, 2, 3, and he gets it. Punk gets it. A GTS gets it. I think that was fine. I don't know that it's the most amazing match. It wasn't a thrill ride. It wasn't edge of the seat stuff, but there were some nice moments that were in there. The most important thing, CM Punk getting the victory. CM Punk has silenced the critics. WrestleLand said it's crazy how many shows we've seen live once and then never again. I forgot about this, said WrestleLandy. Do you know, it's so true. I don't know about you, but I find myself remembering certain moments and then not quite trying to piece them together. Like sometimes you go, oh yeah, that was the same year as that, and that actually led to that. And it's like, yeah, there's lots of stuff in my mind. It all becomes like a soup. That's the best way I can word it. It becomes a bit of a soup. And yeah, you do watch these shows and you go, oh yeah, that connects to that. That then leads to that. Right, okay, I got it. I've got my bearings. I normally have to start at WrestleMania to get my bearings and sort of work from there. Because a lot of the big stories pay off at WrestleMania and you can sort of then get your bearings from that. But yeah, I'm with you, WrestleLandy. I'm right in that boat with you. CM Punk managing to retain his championship. Good for him. I'm coming home, he yells. I'm coming home. Yeah, so there was a bang of heads. Is that where the blood came from? Was it the head clash? There we go. Dream match. Dream match coming up, kids. There he is. The Great Khali. Let's go. Mate, this is what I'm looking forward to. It's the only reason I'm watching this. Literally the only reason why we're watching this is so we can watch the Great Khali. Triple H. Great. Is that next? It is, you know. It is. It's going to be Triple H. I hope this gets flippy. I hope this is an Iron Man match. Give them an hour. He is loved in India, though. Absolutely loved. You can understand it, though. I mean, there's not many Indian superstars that have been, like, world champion in well, just world champion, full stop. So you can totally understand why. And here we go. We're going to be getting Triple H against the Great Khali. Does anyone remember the Hardys in 2009? Matt killed Jeff's dog in a house fire. That was pretty random stuff, says BBK. There's a lot of random stuff in the history of WWE, and I would agree that is one. Dean said, with side plates being custom for each champion, how long before we start seeing a full customized superstar title? The CM Punk title, the Rhea Ripley title, the Wyatt Six title. That would be fun to see, said Dean. I am actually against that, and that might be a bit surprising. And there's a reason why I'm not really on board with it. It's because I sort of feel like the top prize should, I think, always be the top prize. It should always, you're trying to win a belt. For example, the Winged Eagle. I can go back and I can see the Winged Eagle on Stone Cold, and I can see Brett carrying it. I can see Andre with it. I can see Hogan with it. I can see the Winged Eagle in like some truly iconic matches, iconic moments, being carried by iconic wrestlers. And it is, I suppose, in a way, a badge of honor. It is something that is a prize that you want. And actually, you know, look at Kevin Owens. I mean, he was saying how he worked so hard to have that little run with the Winged Eagle earlier this year. I mean, I think Cody wanted to bring it back permanently because, you know, the Winged Eagle had been just synonymous with a period of wrestling. I think if you actually have custom championships that change from person to person, there's no kind of badge or symbol that kind of is consistent, you know? It's just everyone has their own belt then. You're the champ, that's your belt. I sort of feel like what we do now is probably the right balance, which is we've got a belt that passes from person to person that symbolizes, there we go, this era of WWE. And so you can see that belt being represented in matches. And then what they do is they do custom championships just on the side. You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they in ring unveiled, say you win the title. Let's say the next night on Raw, you actually unveil your custom belt that can be purchased. It basically celebrates you as champion. They don't carry it, but it is like something that everyone is honored with. If you win the championship, you get the custom belt, basically. You get that, and it gets made, and it's available on the shop, and it kind of signifies your title run. I wouldn't mind that. But there are custom championships they sell on WWE Shop. But yeah, that's the only reason that I'd be a bit down on having like the belt getting replaced each time. Is I just think like it just sort of doesn't become a consistent symbol anymore. We don't do that in UFC. We don't do that in boxing. I mean, people want to win the belts they saw their heroes with, you know. And obviously, if it's custom title, it wouldn't be that way. So that's my kind of. That's the reason why I wouldn't like really go that direction. But I don't disagree with having custom championships, but they do those. You can get them on WWE Shop. They do them to like honor the different wrestlers. They've done loads. They're expensive. They look good though. They've done a good job of them. I mean, you can get like Kane ones and Taker ones and Triple H ones. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. Which is why I think it works quite well this way. Here's the game. Here is Triple H. So we've only got 3 matches left to go, you know. There's only 3 matches left to go. Three matches left to go, and we've only been going an hour and 20. Here's Triple H, Great Khali already in the ring. Jennifer said they should have brought the Winged Eagle back for real for Cody, just to cement him as the new guy. The current belt is just a stupid logo. The tag belts are nicer than the main belt. James said, if you had billions and you could start a wrestling company, what indie wrestlers would you sign, and why is it Cara Noir? I would be interested in Cara Noir, although I don't know how Cara Noir's doing after coming back from such a long injury. I mean, Cara Noir looked like he was done, didn't he? I actually have not seen any Cara Noir since Cara Noir came back, so yeah. I struggle when it comes to indie talent, of course, because I don't really watch the indie scene. I don't really know who's out there. But I know that there was some really good talent like that. I was hearing about that Oku, who I believe has gone to AEW. I don't know if they're using him. But I heard about him in Progress as being like a real exciting prospect. But yeah, Cara Noir is one that's been on the radar for a long time. I don't know who else is out there, honestly. I know there's a few people in Beyond. Okay, we're getting the intros. Steve said Vince always liked to churn and burn matches toward the end of his booking. Lots of matches with just less quality. Do we like the TK ownership, said JJ, or do we prefer a Miss Vince? I think there's pros and cons to both, but having watched Vince for so long, I think that I think it's easy to look back on Vince with a bit of nostalgia and think that it was all amazing and better. But actually, if you look at 2023 and 2024, they were fantastic periods for WWE, both financially and creatively. And I think what's happened now is that 2025 has just settled down because we've ended the Bloodline story. We've ended Bloodline, and actually what we've done is we have Big Shot coming in there by Triple H. And again, we've ended the Bloodline story, and we've now tried to lean into the John Cena retirement story. But actually, you know, the other stuff we're doing is a bit underwhelming. There's a lack of, like, really great stories around, things that I think people really feel invested with or care about. And I think what that's doing is it's kind of now breeding a bit of a, oh man, I miss how it used to be. It's breeding a lot of nostalgia. So, I mean, my honest answer is I think there's pros and cons to both. I think Vince had some amazing moments, but I think there was an awful lot of rubbish that was in there as well. I mean, there's lots of whole years that are just throwaway. I mean, really very, very little in them of any note. But then you got some years that are absolutely crazy. I think what Vince did is he was always looking a bit bigger than what Triple H does. I feel like Vince was providing more moments, but sometimes those moments are nonsensical and a bit rubbish. But he was quite good at providing you with talking points. I feel like Triple H is slower with his kind of builds, But actually, you know, the stories make a bit more sense. There's not as much nonsense. There's certainly not as much toilet humor in the Triple H era. And there's not as much like cringe segments, outright bad segments. Triple H one is like credible, steady, comfortable, logical. Those are the kind of things. You know, I mean, I would say that Triple H is safe sex. That's Triple H. Vince McMahon is a wild night in Amsterdam. Listen, there's places in the world for both, isn't there? There's places in the world for both. I think I'd like to have a bit of Triple H during the Vince era, where some of the bonkers stuff we sort of dialed down on, like, and some of the cringe toilet humor stuff. I mean, some of the comedy that Vince found funny just was not funny. And some of that stuff's like, what? Like, there's a lot of stuff in there, and, you know, I mean, let's not forget there's segments that really cross the line as well. Segments that have not aged well at all, right? So, you know, you'd want to get rid of those. You'd want to get rid of stuff that is just cringy. You'd want some of these stories to, you know, maybe just settle down and build a little bit better. But, you know, Vince was good at giving you quite a few talking points. And then with Triple H, I think that he's a good foundation. He's a very good foundation guy. But it's just you need to drop a few more fireworks in. You need a few more explosive moments and a few more fun stories. And it's not quite exciting enough at times. But then, you know, the past few years have been great. So is it just that we're in a bit of a lull? Right now, we've got Great Khali working on the traps of Triple H, really putting on a nerve holds. And that does hurt, man. I mean, that does hurt. Grabbing that part does hurt. And a massive... think of the size of the hand of the Great Khali. Big clubbing blow. Apparently, people in the UK are peeved that Drew is stuck in the UK, said Big Migs. Are they? I'm in the UK. I'm not bothered. That's up to whatever the laws are, isn't it? I don't really see the problem. I mean, to get back into America to work, there must be certain paperwork that you need. If he doesn't have that paperwork, I sort of feel a little bit like, is that not on him? I mean, whether something has changed and he didn't know, or documentation that worked before doesn't work now. Like, I don't know I don't know enough about the situation. But, I mean, it seems like he doesn't have his US passport, which immediately makes me think, why don't you have your US passport? Surely you knew you was going to need that to get back into the US. So is it not a mistake on Drew's part? Shots coming in there by Triple H. At least the women's roster's a lot safer now, says James. This is true. Jessica said, I would get rid of about 85% of the interference Triple H has. It ruins things. Against the ropes goes Great Khali. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. Steve said wrestling is cyclical. It has boom periods and mediocre periods, but it always comes back around. Well, it's true, isn't it? Because you kind of go through a slow periods, and then what you do is you go, right, we need something here. We've got to get this going again. And so then you like actively try and find like a big juicy story. You then deliver that. Normally it, like, you know, works, and then, you know, you go back into a nice boom period. I mean, we're just coming out of the Bloodline story. We tried to go into the Cody title reign. We know that creatively that was a bit flat. Triple H over against the ropes, getting dumped to the outsides. Triple H goes spilling to the outsides. Great Khali in the ring, breaking out. This match is about, what, 5-6 minutes long? It's probably already about 10 minutes too long. Triple H going to the outsides. Are we even sure that Drew's telling the truth, said James? No, honestly. He could be lying and just trying to create a bit of buzz online. Right now, Triple H has grabbed the legs of the Great Khali, pulling him over to the ring post and wrapping that around the ring post. Great Khali selling a little bit on the outside. Triple H chopping the big man down. Right now, Triple H climbing up the ring steps. Going on the up, big chop. Down goes Triple H. A massive chop there by the Great Khali with his frying pan-sized hands. Triple H down, Great Khali on the outside, recover him. Trying to find a way of getting back in. Triple H working hard to try and make this as good a match as he can possibly make it. Triple H coming over, charging over at the Great Khali. Great Khali grabs him, got him by the head, driving him back into the ring. He's got it, look at that. He's got a head vice applied at the moment. And right now we got Triple H trying to throw some shots to the midsection, trying to find a way out. Goes down to his knees. Crowd making a little bit of noise. I tell you what, we're not... There's Triple H. I was just about to say, what we're not getting are many chants, but there is a slight Triple H chant that's just broke out. Again, squeeze being applied. Taz says the game's head is getting crushed. He's trying to get back up to his feet, though. Triple H trying to find a way back. Trying to power out of it. Crowd cheering. You can hear how young some of these fans are. No, and there's reapplied again. Reapplied again. Kick coming in there by Triple H. Getting driven back to the corner. Great Khali charges him. Triple H moves out the way. You can see the Hell in a Cell above the ring. Double underhooks. No joy at the moment. Oh, boom! Pedigree! That'll do it. The big man planted. 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins. He manages to get the pedigree on the Great Khali. Triple H beats the Great Khali in a match that probably went too long, but it was okay. I've actually got the cage match scores, but the only problem with cage match for this event was that I mean, there's next to no votes on it. So this match got 63 votes. So, I mean, the score is pretty redundant. So I'm not going to say what this got because I don't want it to influence your scores. Let's see what you lot thought of it, though, as we get this in the chat. There we go. We do have the scores for the CM Punk match, though, and that has come out with a good rating, good 98. So the in-ring is just a bit low for this show. To be honest, I think the best thing we've seen so far by an absolute mile is the HBK segment. I think that's the best thing we've seen by a mile so far. I can tell you that the MVP Jeff Hardy match got 6.2 out of 10. The mixed tag match was 4.2 out of 10. No score for Matt Hardy, Mark Henry. CM Punk against JBL, 5.8 out of 10. But all of these are quite low with the amount of votes they've received. Good news, though. The main event tonight gets a monster score. A great score. It is a fantastic match. It's a very famous match as well, actually, our main event tonight. It's the match that I think this event is like most remembered for. It's Undertaker, Edge, Hell in a Cell. We got our next match coming up. John Cena taking on Batista. first time ever. There we go. It took them this long to get to this match. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? You really would have thought they would have faced before now. John Cena, Batista, both coming through the same, I mean, they know each other very well, of course, from OVW. It's kind of crazy they were on the roster. I think they were on separate brands, though, weren't they? A match the whole world wants to see. Great. Oh, good promo this from Cena. One day. Brilliant. Brilliant promo. So he was saying that even when he won the title at WrestleMania 21, he saw that Batista was winning world titles and he thought to himself, one day. And then, you know, he's facing Shawn and, you know, Batista's stealing the show and everyone's talking about him and he thought to himself, yeah, one day. And it kind of, it's brilliant, isn't it? Because, like, that day is now. I'm glad you've been watching me because I've been watching you too, says Batista. So good. So good. Egyptian Pool Boy said, good news. I've washed your Speedos and I managed to get the stains out. Really? Can you let me know how you did that? Because I do have some other items that, to be honest, have got even worse stains. So, I don't know what... I've tried quite a few things to get the stains out, and honestly, I can't do it. I am at the point now where I've heard a rumour that the tears of a child might do it. So, I was just going to see if I could get some tickets to go to WWE next time, like Jey Uso wrestles. Because he'll probably lose. I'd imagine that Brom might win at SummerSlam, and I was hoping to collect some children's tears as they're crying into their yeet glasses. And I was going to try and use that to get the stains out. I've heard a rumour that's what does it, but I'm not sure. Here's Cena. Big Mix Gaming, shout out to you, my friend, firing in some Wrestling Days memberships. And King Yeti, mates. King Yeti. It's insane the support that King Yeti shows this channel. I'm honestly thinking of calling the tournament that we're doing the King Yeti tournament. And naming that after King Yeti because I'm just running out of thank yous. 50 memberships for people in the community, and I can see that Marvland and Eddie and Mike Biggs and J-Dog and Pickles World and Jack and Tyler, Geordie Jordan, Lacquer, OG Gobbledygooker, Lex Luthor, Philip, WWE for Life, Ms. Vicky, Sneaky Posse, all benefiting from King Yeti's kind generosity. And honestly, King Yeti has really changed the membership side of things. He's really forced me into making sure that we're doing stuff over on that side for people. And we have 3 streams for the members a week. So that is 12 extra streams a month. And we do normal streams on a Tuesday. We do slightly different things. I've got some interesting lined up for Wednesday. But we've been doing like sending in your videos and things along those lines. And on Thursday we have got like a big game, a big faction game that's going on. So there's loads that's happening. I need to get all those. I'm going to get those member streams set up, actually. I've got it on my jobs list. I'm going to get those set up so that people know when they are. But yeah, we've been getting record numbers of people joining us on those member streams these past few weeks. And it's all down to King Yeti. So yeah, you obviously have got that now. So come and join us. Come and say hello. Come and share your thoughts. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Come and swing by and share your thoughts. Right, Batista has made his way down. So King Yeti, thank you, my friend. Really do appreciate it. Big Mig said, I went to the park to feed the ducks bread. I love it for them. Big Migs, come on. You know that you didn't. You didn't. You know you shouldn't be doing that because they're not getting the nutrients that they need. You've got to feed them protein bars or something. I don't know what you feed them. But it's certainly not bread. You are killing ducks by doing that. Right, here we go. We got John Cena in one corner. We got Batista over the other side. The bell has sounded. And here we go. For the first time ever, two of the biggest stars of this generation, going up against each other. Batista, Cena. And no explosive kind of moment. Yeah, I mean, Cena's got to know he's going to be out-muscled here. Batista with a side headlock on Cena, going over against the ropes. Batista, shoulder barge. It's amazing. Look at Batista. Absolutely amazing. Lovely work there by Cena. Hip toss, picking up Batista, looking to slam him down again. Cena, big, strong. Smile on his face, though. Yeah, Cena's strong. He's jacked. Look at the size of him. I don't think anyone's surprised that Cena's got power. I mean, flipping, look at him. Look, he's got muscles on muscles. He's got muscles in places I didn't know you could have them. It's just that Batista's got more. Over the other side, shoulder barge there by Cena. Batista down. Cena again against the ropes. Kick to the midsection. No joy. Cena. Big clothesline. Cena down. Cena trying to get back up to his feet. Looking for a super. Oh, look at that. Plants him down and kick up there by Cena. Shot coming in there by Batista. Cena going back to the corner. Good match, this. I mean, this is one that's like... no title on the line, but two of the absolute biggest stars of this generation. And in John Cena, one of the biggest stars of all time. Shoulder up there by Batista. Meeting for the first time. Both in each other's way. Cena going against the ropes. This is why, for me, SummerSlam 2025, I'd really have liked to have seen Roman Bron Breakker in a singles match. With Bron Breakker saying, he is not the future, he is the present, I am the now. It's not about, like... me learning and all of that. I know what I need to do. I know how to beat you. I've been watching you, Roman. The game changed when I came to the main roster. You've never faced anyone as athletic or as explosive as me. Something along those lines. Nice work there by Batista. Cena goes down. This is like Hogan and Warrior 20 years later, says Wrestle with Andy. Oh, it's in. There we go. Lots of woos as Batista applies that figure 4. Do you know, if this was the main event of WrestleMania and it did have the WWE title and the Intercontinental title, it really would be like that. This is just, unfortunately, not the main event, and there's no belts on the line. You are correct, of course you are. It's still got the shades of that, but yeah, they could have gone even bigger with this. Part of me thinks it's a little bit of a shame that they do this first time meeting in just a match that's not even the main event. Like, you could have gone bigger. Imagine this as the main event of WrestleMania, and it's their first time meeting, and there's championships on the line. And right now he's got Batista on his shoulders, looking for an AA, and he dumps him to the outsides. Batista goes down on the outsides. Cena still grabbing a hold of his leg, but yeah, an AA, but not in the ring, to the outside. And look at that. Batista spilling to the outsides. Why are the crowd booing out the building between Batista and John Cena? Why are the crowd getting booed out the building between Batista and John Cena? I think that the crowd have been a little bit quiet, haven't they? There's a murmur and a cheer whenever Cena is on the rise. I think this is a very pro-Cena crowd. There's a lot of youngsters there to see him, but I see the odd anti-Cena sign. Cena trying to find a way of getting back up to his feet. Cena looking out at the crowd as he's trying to get over. Cena going against the ropes, looking for the 5-knuckle shuffle. Boom! Connects! John Cena trying to get up Batista on the shoulders. Back elbow there by Batista. Cena. Oh, down goes Cena. Cena goes down. Batista is down. Referee checking on both. Referee count. God, could you imagine if this ended in like a flipping double count out? Double countdown. He said you can't see me, but I can quite clearly see him, said JJ. Can you do a Hulk Hogan watch along, said Hulk Hogan fam. We just watch along whatever the WWE Vault put on, bud. So if they put on like a Hogan show and do a live stream for it, I'd be interested to do it. No issue with doing that, but it just works better doing watch-alongs this way because WWE kind of advertise these shows. There's people that are watching these shows anyway, so it's not only our community that are tuned into this. There's obviously other people that are tuned in as well, so hello, if you're new, as a result. Right now, we've got Batista with Cena. Big Mig said, "Should I feed the ducks eggs and nuggies?" Oh, well, I think that's better. Anything that's got like duck nutrition in it. Have a look, see if nuggies on the packaging say they've got duck nutrition. There we go. STF applied. So he's keeping Batista grounded at the moment. Referee right there checking on Batista. Yeah, you can hear the tone of the crowd, can't you? It's quite high-pitched. Yeah, that knee is really twisted. Oh, my God, look at it. It's really twisted over to the side, isn't it? That is true. He finally releases the hold, but then drags him back, reapplies. Oh, you little menace. Batista has got sweat pouring down his face as he's trying to crawl his way over to the ropes. Again, they're showing that leg and the way that it's being twisted over to the sides. He's trying to get there and he's reaching. Do you know, I've never really thought about that as to where the pain is actually coming from. I've always thought it's more like on the neck and the head being like kind of pulled back and it's the neck and it's a bit of a choke and whatever. I don't really ever think about the leg because we never focus on it. But actually there, they just showed you the leg and how twisted and contorted it was. And so you kind of look at that and you go, oh my God, yeah, I bet that is like, oh, look at that. That's so good. Batista was on the shoulders, going to be AA'd, but Batista actually manages to drag Cena back, get him down, and get a rear naked choke applied. So right now, that choke, interesting grip as well. Interesting grip. What do they call that? That has got a name. So he's got that in and applied. That is an interesting grip. You can do it like that. You can do it like that. He's got it like that. Another elbow coming in there by Cena, and he's breaking out of that. Does Fabrizio Romano ever sleep, said BBK? I don't know, but I'd imagine not during transfer season. Right now we've got Batista over against the ropes, charging his fear by Batista. Cena down, 1, 2. Oh, mates. I tell you what, this is a real wrestling match. There's been some great holds. Batista obviously feeling the effects on that leg. His knee has been buckled. Right now, Cena being picked up on the shoulders of Batista. Oh, flipping him over. It's got him on the shoulders. Batista in trouble. There it is. But Cena can't capitalize. Oh, they're calling it the FU at this time. AA. Cena trying to get over. Batista down. Cena trying to make the pin. 1, 2. Shoulder up. You can see the people applauding when Batista manages to get the shoulder up. This is not a 100% pro Cena crowd. There's plenty of people. Look at that. Look at that. So good how he got into that. People are making a bit more noise. People on their feet. Cena going to the outsides. Few boos for Cena as Cena's climbing up. Batista coming in. Shot coming in there by Batista. Batista trying to go up and again shot there by Batista. Shot coming back by Cena. These two exchanging blows. They're setting up for a spot, but I don't know what spot they're going for. I mean, from here, you would think a superplex. Another shot coming in there by Cena. A shot coming in there by Batista. Pop, pop, pop. Ah, down goes Batista. Cena up top. Leg drop. He's got Batista getting up to his feet. Oh, he did go for the leg drop off the top, but Batista into a power bomb. Oh. Mates. Big pop from the crowd as Cena kicks out there. I think a lot of people thought Batista had it. Yeah, I mean, this isn't even close. This is easily the best match we've seen so far tonight, and it is not even close. I feel like all the other matches were in a different city, maybe a different country. Big boot coming in there by Batista. Picks up Cena, looking to powerbomb him. He's got him up. Plants him, drives him down, going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Batista wins. Batista beats Super Cena at SummerSlam 2008. I walk alone. Batista bomb Cena. A Batista bomb. Gets the victory. Let's end this poll. That one was for Triple H Great Khali. Let's get the next one up. Batista was just 3 seconds better than John Cena. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? I feel like most matches that end in pinfall, isn't it, that someone was just 3 seconds better than their opponent in that moment. I feel like that's WWE's attempt to be like, oh, he only just lost. It was really close. He was only 3 seconds better. It's like, yeah, but isn't that how wrestling works? There we go. Good match. Fun. That actually ran for just over 13 minutes. The longest match that we've had so far tonight, but yeah, really good. You lot said that Triple H Great Khali was good 94. I can tell you that on Cage Match it's got a 4 out of 10 rating. 4 out of 10 rating. People were not crazy about Triple H Great Khali. There is Batista walking away. Both of them feeling the effects of this match. Can we bring back the Wheel of Fun for Big Fours? I think it would be great to bring it back. It would be nice to have on streams. I need a yes or no, not a could, etc. Well, if I've got to say yes or no, I would say no. If I've got to pick one. Because I have no prizes or plans to bring it back, so it would be no. I could say maybe and think about it, but I have no plans for it. James said, yesterday I've ordered on Smith's the NWO Trio pack. I pre-ordered the Mania 41 John Cena Funko Pop. Oh, really? I haven't looked on Smith's to see what's on there. I'm sure there's some good stuff on the way. Obviously, a lot of new figures on the way. We saw that from San Diego Comic-Con. Lots of great stuff being shown. Will Edge and Vicky divorce? At the moment, 78% have said yes, they will. So there we go. 78% of people think that Edge and Vicky are going to divorce. That's what we were all talking about in the summer of 2008. Here we go. The cage or the cell is being lowered. We got one more match to go, and this is a bona fide classic. They're actually counting down the best SummerSlam matches of all time, and I have not seen where this one has ranked. I'm going to have a look now, actually, on WWE's website. WWE's YouTube channel. Because this one surely features. They may not have got to it, actually. I mean, it's not 4. It's not 5. It's not 6. It's not 7. It's not 8. It's not 9. It's not 10. It's not 11 or 12. I don't know what it is. What are they counting down? Oh, the top 25. It's not 13. It's not 14. It's not 15. It's not 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 or 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's not featured yet. Is it going to be one of the top 3? Let's have a look at... they had a top 25 from 2012. What was their top matches then? They had it at number 8 in 2012, WWE. They had it as the 8th best SummerSlam match. Perhaps it's fallen out now. Perhaps it's not in the top 25 anymore. Their number 1 back in 2012 is maybe what the number 1 will be this time around as well. Bret and British Bulldog from 92. Wembley Stadium. Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, number 2. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, absolutely amazing from 2002. CM Punk, Brock Lesnar from 2013. Oh, it said this article was from 2012. Perhaps it was 2013. I don't love Bret Owen Steel Cage match. They've got that at 6, and I'd have that much lower. I think it was good at the time, but I don't think it's got great rewatchability. But yeah, when they did this list going back 12 years ago, this next match was number 8. It was the 8th best SummerSlam match ever. So we are about to see something pretty special. Edge, Undertaker had been feuding all throughout this year. On a lot of PLE shows as well. Let's go. Undertaker, Edge, Hell in a Cell. There's a lot that can be pre-ordered. I've always wanted the NWO pack, but it was too expensive, but it's on offer. Oh, is it? How much is it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, she made this match. She put Edge in this situation. She did a bit of a Teddy Long impression. You're gonna go 1-on-1 with The Undertaker. I'm just looking at figures at the moment after James has mentioned. Oh, they've got the Wyatt 6 pack already on there. $59.99. When's it released? Expected between the 26th of December and the 3rd of January. What? And you can already pre-order. It's pretty wild, isn't it? $49.99 down from $59.99. Here's Edge. There's Gacy. Gacy's not out yet, is he? Expected on the 9th of October. Rock. Yeah, a lot of these have only been shown not long ago. There's the Fatu. Look at that. So good. When he was spreading positive messages. Cena, Punk, Jacob. I think that Jacob looks a bit thin. It's a fun little set. Logan. What the hell are them? Okay, I need those. I'm sat here thinking, why have I got these on when I could be wearing those? It says they're kids, though, so, I mean, they might not fit my head. That's the only problem. Are they adjustable? High quality. Listen, guys, these let you listen to music. You can watch movies, TV shows, or YouTube. It does them all. It literally does them all. It works on all of them. It is adjustable. Perhaps I need to go to the shop and have a look at them. Could you imagine me with those on? Mate, come on, I need those. That's a must-buy. That's a must-buy. Some belts. Dominic. Look at these. Monday Night War. I think that's a bit of an Oh, my God. When's that out? Oh, my God. Look at this. That's the championship from, like, the 70s. The WWE Championship. That's the one that his dad tried to win. And I don't think we've ever had it in the line before. It might have come with, like, a real online exclusive sort of figure. But not in a normal line. That is beautiful. Lots of belts, actually. Going for loads of figures. Shark? We've already had a shark. Oh, my God, look at that. And it looks like it comes with the severed head of Michael Cole as well. Need. Here's Undertaker. Jerry Lawler, that looks great. That looks great. These Monday Night War, like, that's a good line, that, actually. Punk. There's John Cena. WrestleMania. Is this the one you pre-ordered, James? 23rd of August, mate. 23rd of August, just so you know. Here's Undertaker, then. We're just waiting. LA Knight, yeah. Not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Why does that look so off? Is it too big, or? Man, Undertaker's entrance. He deserves to go on Mount Rushmore just because the entrance is so goated, to be honest. Look at the dead man. £5? Dudes! Hey, all you pop vinyl freaks. £5, reduced from $12.99. Special edition as well. Here he comes, making his way down. The gong sounded. Elia, £10. Look at these bargains. We could bring Wheel of Fun back, and I'll just buy a load of these chompers. Guys, I'm quite happy to buy a load of £5 figures. It is going to be Tommaso Ciampa, though. How do people feel about getting Tyler Bate figures? Yeah, it looks quite good, in all fairness. I ain't spending 99. I ain't made the money. There he is. There's the dead man. Look at these elite. Look at that. A Razor figure. Elite, £10. Mate. Bargains. Flipping bargains. British Bulldog, £10. £8. It is ridiculous, actually. I mean, you probably could buy some of these figures, just keep them a while, and then sell them at a higher price. Like, I'm sure you could. I'm sure there must be money to be made. You can't tell me that you can't make money on a £5 pop vinyl. Sell it for £8. Or some of these elites and things for like £5-10. There's got to be money to be made, hasn't there? Someone must be doing it as well. Those are nice. Those Hall of Fame sets for £10 each. They're nice. Those, oh, I didn't know we had them in the UK, actually. Ah, that's nice. That's cool. Hogan in white's cool. £14. Look, there's so much in there. Look at all this. Look at all this. That's it, actually. But that's a lot in it. That's a lot. I could order any of this now and it'll come to my house. Yeah? Goated. Love you. Shout out to Do great work. Okay. Okay, the cell is down. Edge is in. Undertaker is in. Guys, back in 2012, 2013, this was the 8th best match in SummerSlam history. Do you know how many matches there's been at SummerSlam? Loads. Look at Edge, like, he's licking his lips, ready to go, man. He's like, yeah. He's not intimidated. Look, he's got a little smirk on his face. Yeah, he was forced out, wasn't he, of WWE? He lost a match where he had to leave WWE. And then Vicky brought him back. Edge, smile on his face in the corner. Undertaker, slowly edging his way over. The best pure striker in WWE history. But right now, Edge is teeing off on the dead man. Edge is pushed back. Grabbed by Undertaker. It's easily one of the most recognisable entrance music, says Dean. Undertaker looks like a woman that used to live 2 doors away from me, said Geordie Jordan. Really? I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of intrigued to see a picture of her. Headbutt there by Undertaker. I got the Jade Cargill Elite as well, said James. I don't think I saw that one. Oh, mate. Edge over the top, and you could hear him collide into that cell. Demonic. Do hookers have to pay taxes like professional call girls, said William? Well, they should do, but if it's cash in hand... I bet, and I'd imagine it will be cash in hand. I don't know too many guys that are going to put those kind of services onto their credit cards. You know, anything that's going to be cash in hand is going to be debatable as to whether it gets put through taxes. I can't avoid it if anyone's watching. Yeah. There's no cash being exchanged, but so everything kind of obviously shows up through statements and everything. But when it comes cash in hand, you have a bit of a choice, don't you? Do I declare this? So I'd imagine they should pay taxes. I bet they don't. Right now, we've got Edge being grinded across the side of the cell. Alex said, the only WWE Funko Pop I have currently is Dude Love. I want to get Mankind and Cactus Jack, so I've got all the Foleys. That'd be good. That'd look good on a shelf. It's crazy that Taker was only a full-time wrestler for a few years after this, says Wrestler Andy. That is crazy. But in all fairness, I mean, it's a good 20-odd years, isn't it? So... I mean, you got to say, that's a hell of a run. And then, yeah, he then goes down, kind of working just once a year. Well, that's not true, is it, to be honest? He does work more than once a year, but it does eventually get to once a year. There's Vicky and Chavo and the Edgeheads all backstage. Undertaker in control with that guillotine leg drop. Days, are you aware there is a lady asking about your taken status? We think she is volunteering as a tribute, says Dean. Well, sadly, I am taken. I'm taken with this community. Right now, we got Undertaker getting in the ring. Right now, Undertaker with these ring steps. They are over in the corner as Edge is in quite a bit of trouble here. Undertaker turns around. He's got Edge going over into the corner. We've already had some big moments on the outside of this ring. And now, boom, straight into the top of the ring steps. Oh, but Edge actually manages to get a back elbow in. I gotta be honest, not crazy about that. Edge has just got smashed into the top of those ring steps and somehow it made him more powerful. Drop kick there by Edge. It's Edge that's in control. Nothing really wakes you up quite like having your face smashed into the ring steps. Drop kick there. Was it a drop kick or a spear by Edge? Driving into the Undertaker, going to the outside, getting a table. Guys, look at that table. Oh my God, there's no sponsors on it. How cute. How cute. It doesn't say Slim Jim anywhere. Losers. Oh, God. Honestly, we just didn't know back then. We didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know that we needed sponsors on tables like we do today. We didn't know back then that it made the tables better. Oh, it was a spear against those stairs. Smashing them into the Undertaker. Undertaker down. Edge in, clothesline. Undertaker down again. Honestly, he has come back. He has come alive since being hurled into those ring steps. That's like coffee to Edge. It's caffeine. It fires him up. It wakes him up. Oh, yeah, the tables. Table on table spot. Dead man in the ring, getting up to his feet. Doesn't quite know where he is at the moment. Shot coming in there by Edge. We got a table on a table. He's looking to try and drive Undertaker through those. Undertaker, though, going for a chokeslam, but no joy. Undertaker goes back into the middle of the ring. Edge on the outsides. Again, going around, we're looking for more weapons going underneath the ring. Grabbing a chair. Bang! Driving it into Undertaker. Undertaker goes down. Smile. Sick, sadistic smile on the face of Edge. Look at this. Oh, you can hear the sound as well. Brutal. Brutal. God, there's nothing like a really good, satisfying Hell in a Cell match, is there? You know, a match that really warrants it. I'm so glad we don't do it as its own pay-per-view anymore. And that one against Drew and CM Punk the last year was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But, yeah, this is great. This is great as well. Bang! Another chair shot. During this era, it would have been sponsored by a fiction that says Wrestle with Andy. Who else would have sponsored during this era? We saw one the other day that was PlayStation. I can't remember if like PS3 was sponsoring around this time. I think that was out around this time. When did PS3 come out? Did I buy my PS3 on the same America trip as when I was there for this? Or when did it come out? Edge going underneath the steps again? No. It came out November in Japan, November in America. Wow. So I was definitely in America November 2006. That is definite. Because I was there when the PS3 came out. I was definitely in America the week before WrestleMania 24. But that is 2008. So actually the PS3 had been out for a good couple, well, nearly a couple of years by this point. I did not realise that had come out 2006. I didn't realise it had come out that early. Here we go. Edge with a big chair shot. Undertaker down. Not only has TKO shot themselves in the foot with adverts, but there's so many, but nothing stands out. They're probably all ignored. I can't imagine they drive sales. Do you mean the sponsorships? like in the ring and all of that. I think it's just more just brand awareness in general. I don't know that anyone necessarily looks at them and goes, oh yeah, let's buy that now, you know. I think it's more like, for example, Real American Beer feels legitimate. It's not just like a little, you know, little side thing. Oh, look at that. Off the ladder with a chair. It just legitimizes it. Same with Prime. You know that Prime isn't just like something small that Logan's making in his own basement. You know, it's a major company and it's, you know, sponsors some of the biggest teams around the world. And, it, you know, it's got focus on WWE. It's, you know, showing in the UFC. And I think it's just more for like brand recognition. It's why Coke kind of sponsor like the World Cup and everything. Everyone knows what Coke is. But it's just that's a good association for them. So I think it's just that, really. But you are right. I can't imagine anyone looks at the ring and goes, oh, my God, yeah, we need car insurance. Let's call them. Right, he's going for a concerto. So he's got the chair underneath Undertaker, the other one on top, and he's about to smash him in the head with it. This pay-per-view was about $50 at the time, says Shaquem. Oh, down goes Edge. SmackDown versus Raw 08 was goated. I agree, Ace. I agree. Sponsored by Ugg Boots. Would that be today? Ugg Boots. I actually don't know what was big brands in 2008. It's going to be like Coke and stuff like that, isn't it? Some of the biggest brands were Apple, Mercedes, Sony, Nike, Walmart, Shell. Ain't going to be any of them, is it? It's going to be games and The Wrestler. The Wrestler was... that would have been in the middle of the ring, wouldn't it? The Wrestler, that would have been in the middle of the ring. Undertaker, bang! Smashing that into the side of Edge's head. I don't think that was out at this time, though. Boom. What else was out in 2008? Burn After Reading. Popular films. Nothing really. It was a rubbish year. It looks rubbish. Bedtime Stories. Right now, those ring steps being dragged over. Edge on the outside, charging in, jumps off the steps, collides into Undertaker. The cell goes down. So good. I bet everyone had to be warned, didn't they, at that time to make sure? Because, I mean, that if that lands on you, you're getting cracked hard, aren't you? Could you imagine if, like, the announcer was in the wrong place or the commentators were a bit too close? Like, that whole segment of the cell, bang, goes down. Look at it. So, oh, my God, so good. What a massive spot that is. I think it would have been good if if JR had sort of sold that a little more. About like, oh my God, are you all right? Is everyone all right? Like, no one's asking if anyone's all right. Or, Lillian, are you okay? Like, I think we could have done a bit more there because that's a crazy spot, that is. Undertaker with Edge, headbutt smashing him into the commentary table. Edge is down. You can see the different commentary tables. We got Raw, we got SmackDown, we got ECW. I don't know why they're bothered with the ECW flipping commentary table. We only had one match. We only had one match from them, didn't we? It flipping lasted like all of 10 seconds. Right now, Undertaker with the old school monitor. Oh. Mate, I would have absolutely cacked my pants if I was in the front row and Undertaker's there and he's with a... Edge was right by that barricade. Undertaker with a monitor. Whoa, like that. Imagine you was in the front row. You'd be like, ah! He throws it, but throws it down so it actually hits the barricades. I wonder what happened to that woman at WrestleMania that Stone Cold drove into. I forgot about that. I forgot that had happened this year. Oh, here we go. Spear on the... Oh! There you go. That's why we had an ECW commentary table. So we could put the dead man through it. Look at that. Drove him straight through from that spear. And Taz said he can't believe what he just witnessed. Yeah, this is chaos. This is carnage. And they did not have this in the top 25 matches so far. I can't imagine it's going to... I can't imagine it's going to be in the top 3 now, but... Oh, it is good, though. It's so good. Unreal. They are going to beat the heck out of this match, said Blue Will Sonic. I hate the bleeding on Undertaker's arm, said Blue Will Sonic. Right now, we've got Edge down, Undertaker down. Undertaker. Yeah, they're just showing a replay. Look at it. That table, if that was one of today's tables, they would have just bounced off it. It wouldn't have broke. It is crazy, actually, that they've kind of stopped that. Oh. They did overdo it, in all fairness. Like, commentary tables were breaking all the time, so it was something that was overdone, but when done right like that, it's so good. Edge, Undertaker on the outside. You can see Michael Cole, you can see Jerry Lawler. They're not commentating, but they're just standing there shocked. Undertaker looking out at the crowd. Few boos coming in. It's so great hearing JR in it. Bah, look at that. Edge driving that ladder into Undertaker. Again, we're seeing backstage. We're seeing Vicky. We're seeing the Edge heads. Chavo back there as well. Undertaker down. Edge going to the outsides. Yeah, that's a really big spot, that is. Oh, he's gone under the ring. He's got a camera. Shades of Jade Cargill. Boom! Oh, mate. Drives it right into the head of the dead man. The dead man goes down. 1, 2. Oh, shoulder up. Shoulder up. The match is currently ranked number 10 in 2025. What was it? Did I miss it? Was it on that YouTube countdown? And did I just miss it? Let's have a look. Edge coming in. Ah, gets caught. Picks him up. Ah, huge. Oh, yeah, you're right. Number 10. Oh. Number 10, I missed it. So, number 10, Undertaker Edge. Hell in a Cell. Well, that's good. Back in 2012, it was number 8. So, it's just dropped a couple of places in like 12, 13 years. Yeah, this... I'm pleased about that. I'm pleased it made it. This deserves to be on that list. Low blow by Edge. Undertaker goes down. I'm sure the Cell is enjoying the carnage, says JR. Yeah, there's been like table spots. There's been commentary table spots. We've had a camera spot. There's been stair spots. There's been a flipping barricade spot. Oh! Impaler by Edge, looking for the cover on Undertaker. Kick out by Undertaker. Blue World Sonic said, I love Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross. Back together, miss it so much. They were the best. Steve said, I love this feud. I got to watch them wrestle live several months before the triple threat. Sit in second row. Wow. You'd have to have some serious money to be sitting second row in flipping 2025. Special. Ah, there he is, looking over at the tables. Here we go. He's going to look to drive Edge through those tables. Last ride. Oh, but Edge. Spear there by Edge. You can see a big mark on the side of Edge's body. Kick out by the dead man. But there's a big mark there on the side of Edge's body. Look at that. I didn't flipping up in the heavens, but Edge was able to get down from it. As Undertaker goes over to the corner. Edge back up on his feet. Big shot coming in there by Edge. Undertaker back in the corner as Edge climbs up. Looking to throw in some more shots. Just raining down these blows, and there's a comeback here by the dead man. Bah! Do you know, there's so many objects around, you got to be so careful. He just gave a last ride there to Edge, but there was a ladder that was quite close. Could you imagine if he'd driven him into that ladder? I mean, there could have been some serious damage. Last ride, though, to Edge down. Days, we are on number 4 for top 25 SummerSlam matches. What do we think might be number 1? Well, I didn't pay any attention, honestly. I only saw the other day that they were doing it. And I only just quickly scanned through to see if this match was there, and I successfully managed to miss this. So I don't know what's been mentioned, but the first one that always comes to my mind is the number 1 that we had seen from that list a few years back, and that would be British Bulldog. So if that's not been mentioned yet, I'd imagine it'll probably be that. Right now, Edge and Undertaker. He's going to look to tombstone him. On the chair, is it? He's on the steps. Undertaker gets dragged down. Referee is over, checking on the dead man. It should be Brett Bulldog, said K-Dub. Blue Belt Sonic said, how the heck did Edge just kick out? So good. Look at that. He was going to go for a tombstone, but Edge reversed it and actually drove Undertaker's spine onto those metal steps. Edge right now with his shoulder up. Trying to find a way of moving forward here as the dead man's getting up to his feet at the same time. Both guys getting back up. It's Edge that makes it to his feet first. Crowd are making some noise. They're really invested in this, of course. Shot coming in there by Edge. He's got Undertaker on his knees. Right now, another blow coming in there by the Rated R superstar. As Undertaker gets up to his feet, Edge working on the arm. Undertaker, he's going old school. He's going old school. It's Edge that's going old school. Yeah, JR's like, this is sacrilege, but Undertaker prevents it. Undertaker knocks into those ropes. Edge goes crashing down. Oh, uppercut coming in there by Undertaker. Grabs Edge. He looks in the ring. Those tables are still set up as Edge goes flying through the tables. Huge table spot. Huge. Tables, not table, tables. Yeah, that was a great spot. Looked great. That looked great. Basically hurled him to the outsides. Bang! There's woods. Those kind of are they? Is it? I don't know. I mean, there's metal and steel and just bits everywhere. Spear there by Undertaker. Undertaker spears Edge. They are just throwing everything at each other. Right now, he's trying to grab the camera as well. Undertaker looking into the camera. Says, go to hell. Bang! Hits Edge. Edge goes down. The lens comes off. That was more than HD. Now he's going to look to concerto him. So good. This is one of the first matches I remember, said Alex. Watch him with my cousins. I was 5 when this happened. Well, what a match. Bang! Ah! Concerto. And look at that mark on Edge's back. Look at that mark on Edge's back. This is all a receipt, says JR. Oh, and a tombstone. He's dead. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker beats Edge in a legendary Hell in a Cell match. And that is exactly where Edge just went. He just went to hell. This thing still not over, of course. There they are backstage applauding. Great 68 Cena Batista. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we just went up another level again, didn't we? Undertaker is getting out the ring. Stepping out of the cell. Days Watch, think the best in-ring match will be. I think the TLC, says Mattia. I think that stands a chance. Definitely. I think the women's triple threat stands a chance as well. Undertaker looks up at the big screen, turns around, sees the Edge is still moving, not satisfied. Edge move. I mean, all Edge is doing is like this, and Undertaker's mate. Oh, Edge, you should have just stayed. You should have just stayed down. You should have just stayed down, Edge. Undertaker grabbing this ladder. I don't know how they do this, to be honest. Undertaker picking up Edge, getting him onto this ladder. Everyone's like, what's he doing? What's he doing? Edge is just out of it. He's on the ladder like that. Undertaker grabbing another ladder. Edge with the cardinal sin of just moving slightly after the match. That's all he did. He was in the ring like, just in pain. And Undertaker was like, I'm not having that. This guy's still alive. Undertaker knocking the referee out the way. Taker climbing up the one ladder. What is going on, says Taz. What is going on? Undertaker. Looking at Edge. Grabbing Edge. You're going to hell. Then we get the graphic showing. A little bit of production having some moments. Oh, you know Vince was loving this. Vince was loving this. Undertaker grabbing Edge. They're on top of the ladders. The graphics are showing Edge goes down through the ring. Straight to hell. Undertaker said to him, "You're going to hell." And he sends him there. Look at him chucking ladders around. Iconic SummerSlam moment. The match ended. Undertaker turning around, coming back in the ring. Choke slamming Edge through the ring. I don't know how they did it. Flames shooting up from underneath. Look at the flames. Serious flames as well. Serious flames. Edge char grilled. There we go. That was SummerSlam 2008. What a wild finish that was to that match. What a wild show, actually. I think it's a very, very watchable show. Sometimes you go back to these old shows and they're just a bit like, oh, yeah, no, it's not really aged that well. But with this, you know, Jeff Hardy MVP is a bit skippable. I really enjoyed the mixed tag match. But I really enjoyed Santino when he was in. So, and that actually being for championships, a tag match for 2 singles championships. I've said before, that match lives rent free in my head. So, yeah, it might not be for everyone. It's only like a few minutes long, like it's just over 5 minutes. But I actually don't mind it. I think the Matt Hardy Mark Henry thing is just a nonsense. I really don't get why they only did that for like 30 odd seconds. CM Punk JBL is pretty fun. Not down on that match. It's watchable. It's great to see CM Punk. Good win as well against a very credible opponent. Triple H Great Khali is a bit of a step backwards, you know. So I would say, like, up until that point, it's a bit of a so-so SummerSlam. It's watchable, but also a bit forgettable. But, man, I think Batista, John Cena is a really enjoyable contest. Dave Meltzer actually scores that match 3 3/4. I would not be down on that getting a 4-star rating. I think that, honestly, that probably deserves to get into the 4s. I wouldn't go crazy. I mean, I'd give it 4 stars. Dave Meltzer gave it 3 3/4. I can tell you that out of nearly 200 votes, it got a 7.5 out of 10 on Cage Match. But, Undertaker Edge. Dave Meltzer scores that 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars. And Cage Match over 400 votes. 9.1 out of 10. 9.1 out of 10. And it's always been regarded as one of SummerSlam's greatest matches. It's never at the top of the list, but it's normally on the list, which is why I was so surprised when I didn't see it on that 25, but it was just me being a goof. So, yeah, it's it's one of those shows that I was quite excited to go back to. The main event is one that kind of sticks in the mind, but to be honest with you, one of the big moments here is a moment that I really don't really think about much, and that is Shawn's like fake retirement speech, where he's coming out to say he's got to listen to the doctors, and then he gets that confrontation with Jericho, and Jericho hits Shawn's wife. Like, that is such an incredible moment. It's one of those where you go, damn, man, yeah, that was so good. You lot actually scored that moment, because we did score the moment, great 83. So actually, that was, you lot said, was even better than Cena Batista, which you said was great 68. I don't know that you'll score, I don't know how you're going to score this match. I mean, we'll have to see. Get your votes in. But, yeah, I think those three moments really make this show. But a lot of the other stuff is very watchable. So, honestly, not a bad SummerSlam. I can tell you that the great thing about cage matches is it's been around a long time. So actually, you can see how they voted it in 2008. It had 114 votes in 2008, and it got a 7.8 rating. So, I mean, I think that's fantastic to know how it was rated at the time. And at the time, they enjoyed it. They came out of this SummerSlam and they gave it a 7.8. The years that have followed were a little kinder to it. As the years went by, there was a few 8 scores in there. Right now, though, more recent years, it's kind of settled down a little. It's currently living after 200 votes at a 7.7. So out of 10, it's on 7.7, which I really don't think is an unfair score. I would be in the 7s for this show. So I don't think that's an unfair score. I might not be as high as 7.7, but no, I enjoyed this, and I hope you did as well. They have to remove sections of boards under the ring after the match. Is that what it was? So, because obviously there's no, I mean, to my untrained eyes, there's no moments of them trying to stay away from a certain part of the ring. There's no indication that they're worried about, oh, yeah, let's not do that. Like, it's not, I don't feel any hesitation, or when they're doing these big spots, you know, at no point when they're chucking weapons around or anything, do you see the ring sagging like there's a big hole there. I mean, to actually wrestle that match with part of the ring being just a pit, you kind of go, And then as well as that, I mean, like, how did he know? They obviously rehearsed it, and they obviously removed boards, but how did he know, like, to set the ladder up where he set the ladder up? Like, I wonder what his markers were. I wonder how he knew, like, and, like, how to get Edge to that exact spot, you know? Like, I don't know. I think that would be a real interesting one. I don't know if Undertaker spoke about it. I would be... Yeah, if they remove boards, you know, that would probably explain why Undertaker walks up the entranceway and then turns around and comes back. That buys them time to remove boards. That makes sense. But, like, setting it up and executing it and making sure that it... Because it works, because he just goes straight down, doesn't it? Imagine if he had hit the ring and then sort of rolled. I don't know that would have looked as good. It still would have been great. But I think it looks good because he just goes straight down. And it's kind of no one really is expecting that. You know, these moments where the ring gets manipulated in some way are always iconic. You think about the ring collapsing, which we've done a few times, normally from suplexes in the corner, or, you know, Brock coming down and picking it up with that tractor. And, like, this is one of those moments on a smaller scale where Edge is kind of put through it, you know. It's really good. It's really iconic. The kind of mechanics of it I find quite interesting. This, to me, is where Unreal is really going to show its value, because I know people are down on it and, like, we're revealing too much, but I'd love an Unreal based on this show. I'd love to see backstage with Jericho apologizing profusely, and to see the reaction backstage in Gorilla to that spot, and see, you know, what Undertaker and Edge said. I'd love to see that stuff. I mean, we all know it's scripted. We know that these are just characters. We know what we're watching isn't real. Like, it doesn't ruin anything for me. I am aware of what I'm watching. So I would love for that. So I think there is a place for Unreal, and who knows what if that series does continue, what we might get to see backstage on future episodes. Feel free to get your scores in and thoughts in. We are just 4 votes away from getting to 100, so let's do that. Let's try and get to 100 on that. Zoom said it's a bit too gimmicky for me. Batista Cena was the best. I think that's probably the best in ring. Yes, I agree. But I don't know. When it comes to Hell in a Cell, I think when you know it's a Hell in a Cell match, you know that you're going to get weapons, you're going to get spots, you're going to get those sorts of things. So you sort of subscribe to it for that reason, or at least I do. But yeah, if it was too gimmicky for you, I can understand that. Wrestle Night, hello. Just tried a cannoli for the first time. It was chocolate and it was incredible. That's where it's got quite a thick filling, and then I think, is it pastry around the outsides? I think I've had one, but they're not something that I have had regular. So, yeah, you make me want to have a cannoli now. I wish you can't wait for Unreal. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Of course, Days is taken. He was a quarterback jock, says Ben. You need to do an Unreal watch along, says Mayor Pete's. I am tempted. I just don't know. I mean, I've got a couple of problems. First of all, I don't know when the episode drops, so I don't know exactly when we need to get to it, and like, people are going to watch it at different times. It's different if something airs live and we can experience it together. If it's something that's going to drop and then we have to sort of like set up a stream and wait and watch it, and I don't know, that's a bit weird. I'd much rather they show it live and we watched it. The other thing as well is that I know that is not going to be a good stream. The worst streams, from my experience, are the ones that are just really talking and you have to kind of really listen, because that just basically involves me sitting here watching, listening, trying to take the information on board, kind of working things out like, oh, right, that was happening at that time. And yeah, I mean, we can vocalize those, but it's not quite the same as like, oh my God, he's cashing in, you know? And sort of reacting to those kind of moments. So I find those streams a bit challenging. So I wouldn't say I'm definitely not going to do it, but I'm not. It's not one that I'm like chomping at the bit at. There'll definitely be some sort of video if we don't do a stream. Because yeah, honestly, I'm so excited for it. I am subscribed. I'm on board. I'm a thumbs up kind of guy when it comes to WWE Unreal. But we can all start at the same time, says Mayor Pete. Taker Foley will always be the best Hell in a Cell, said Zoom Station. Right, I think we're pretty much done, and we've got to our 100 votes as well, so lovely length of show as well. I mean, this clocks in at like 2 minutes 40 odd, which is great. I love shows that clock in around that sort of 3 hour, just under 3 hour mark. For me, that's a bit of a sweet spot, which actually might be why we see Raw on Netflix doing 2.5 hours. Because I sort of really do agree this is the sweet spot. I think once you get to 3 hours, that's kind of, it's okay, but 3 hours is fine. But once we start going beyond that, it's like, could we have cut some of this out maybe? I mean, when you get a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, obviously you've got to expect it going a little longer. But actually, I mean, this was a SummerSlam. It clocks in at 2 hours 40. Right, yeah, you loved it. You've given it great 85. Great 85. You lot have scored this. Very, very close to all time, though, because it got 43% great, 42% all time. So great 85. And that does just put it a couple of percent ahead of the Shawn Michaels segment. But the Shawn Michaels segment is like 2% behind the main event. So you really enjoyed both of those, which brilliant. Brilliant. I really enjoyed this watch along. It's lovely to go back and watch a show that people have got something from, and it feels like it was worth doing. Sometimes you can watch these and it's like, yeah, that hasn't actually aged that well. But I don't feel that way about this show, and I really like it. I'd probably score it like a 7.5, 7.25. Probably a 7.5. I mean, I can understand why in 2008 on Cage Match it's got a 7.8 rating. I can understand that. But I would probably be about 7.5. So, there we go. Blue Wheel Sonic said, I'm not sure. Might see you tomorrow. Well, hopefully you're around, bud. We're here for Raw, of course. It's the go-home show for SummerSlam. So let's see what's going to go down there. I'm going to run away, start compiling Unseen. I've not done that for a couple of days. I'm a bit behind, so I'm going to get that sorted. So, yeah, big thank you to everyone that joined us. Massive thank you, of course, to King Yeti, throwing in all of those memberships. Big Migs throwing in some memberships, and Big Migs with loads of comments. Egyptian Paul Boy as well for getting those stains out. I mean, absolutely incredible. So, yeah, big thank you for joining us, and we're back again tomorrow, and I'm going to go off and work.